always compete with the bigger. Yes, and with what they have, and they've always had. Jackie Hayes used to be with them. They just always have been a dominant team. I don't know if this is a down year necessarily, but I don't really care because Wilson should get the credit no matter what for beating the Dillon team.
100%. I agree 100% with that, Chuck. On the other side of the ball, we have West Florence. If, like you said, a 5A team coming in with a new team or new coach in Chad Wilkes. After a semi-disappointing start, going 0-2 in those first 2 weeks, you drop your home opener to your rival South Florence, which obviously is a worthy opponent. Then you go and you play a team like Myrtle Beach in a barn burner of a game. Comes down to the last play of the game, and you lose with your guy with 1 foot out of bounds. And then you come back next week against a Marion team that you should beat, you should take care of business with, and they did. They took care of business. They were able to establish what their identity is, what probably will be the rest of the season, and that's running the football. A bunch of rushing touchdowns last week in that 51-16 win against Marion, and they're going to have to do the same thing tonight in order to beat Wilson.
Yeah, and one thing we talked about before the broadcast started, James, was the fact that they are on their second-string quarterback in Chase Anderson. We saw him. We saw him the very first game of the season against South Florence come in after Avery Weaver got hurt in the game, and he is definitely more of a running style quarterback. And what we've seen is that West Florence is basically they have gotten their identity as saying we're going to run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. We're going to have 2 tight ends out there to continue to run the ball. But guess what we're also going to do? We're going to sneak those passes out to those tight ends sometimes, and we're going to hit those wide receivers as well.
Guys like Cooper Cray are going to be a huge work in this game as far as how you're going to make this team balanced. And Coach Wilkes, to your credit, said he claims that this team really doesn't, need to say who their quarterback is going into every single week. They are very comfortable with Chase Anderson. They have total confidence in him going forward. But he says that with this type of offense, we are a running team. That is going to be the DNA of this football team this year. So as long as the quarterback can execute the offense, hand the ball off, be able to run this offense on an on-time manner, it really doesn't matter what the name on the back says for the jersey.
And I do think that at the end of the day, it will kind of matter on when we talk about Wilson playing both sides. If West Florence can truly establish the run and run, it's going to affect that defense. So those players that are on defense getting tired, then switching to offense, they're going to be tired at that point too. I do believe that that Wilson will be able to actually score some points. They're really, really pass heavy. So I think they're going to be able to control the ball a little bit. I know it sounds funny to say control the ball through the air, but that is what their go-to is to throw the ball.
Right. They are a methodical offense. They have a ton of weapons. Their senior quarterback, Tristan Howard, he is more of a pocket passing quarterback. He can run. He has his athleticism. He'll have his moments where he'll see space and he won't be afraid to take off, but he's not going to be taking a bunch of designed carries like we've seen with a lot of quarterbacks so far this year. But he has a plethora of playmakers to get the ball to. McQuan McWhite, we're going to see him in the backfield. We're going to see him all over the field tonight. Big Zion Mack, Caden Bethea, who had 2 touchdowns last week, as well as the coach's kid, Brian Wilson Jr., but he's not just any coach's kid, Chuck. This guy runs a 10.8-second 100-meter dash. That is world-class speed. He'll be on both sides playing cornerback and wide receiver. He'll be someone to definitely look out for tonight as well.
Yeah, it's going to be a question. If he runs like that, can the quarterback throw it to him good enough before he outruns the play? Because that's speed that we don't normally see in high school in this area. I'm not saying it doesn't happen some, but when you got elite speed like that, that is very rare for us to get a view. And we go to a lot of games, James, so it's very exciting to see what this is going to bring. I'd love to see how fast he is.
We've seen West Florence once already this year. This will be our first chance to check out the Tigers of Wilson this year. It's going to be a very exciting rivalry matchup here in Florence. Kickoff and the pregame will be moments away here. We'll step aside and pay some bills here early on, and we'll be back with kickoff shortly.
For decades, Stoudenmeyer Dowling Funeral Home in Florence has been there for our community to help them heal after a loss with dignified and memorable funeral services. When you choose Stoudenmeyer Dowling Funeral Home, you're choosing a legacy of trust when it comes to caring for both those who have gone and the family and friends they left behind. Everyone grieves differently, but Stoudenmeyer Dowling Funeral Home is committed to helping you through it. They're always available to you by phone, email, Facebook, and their website at StoudenmeyerDowling.com.
Metal roof and wall siding is available locally at Adams Metal Building Supply, a 40-year-old company offering metal building supplies for your home, farm, and recreation projects. From residential to commercial, they have metal panels in a variety of colors and profiles, plus metal trims for a clean, finished look. They carry vinyl bag installation in several inch sizes, and have red iron galvanized C's, channels, Z's, and angles. Adams Metal Building Supply. Call Heather today at 843-669-6399.
If that crack in your windshield is driving you crazy, but you don't have time to get it fixed, call Galloway Auto Glass, a mobile service company that comes to you. Owner and operator Will Floyd has over 20 years' experience in auto glass repair and replacement, but the real boss is Judge, the Labrador Retriever who rides along and ensures customer satisfaction. Galloway Auto Glass always treats your vehicle like their own and will even help you file your insurance claim. Call Galloway Auto Glass at 843-332-7575 or 664-9918, serving Florence, Darlington, Hartsville, and surrounding areas.
Football season is just ahead, so time to make a trip to Rivals, the store divided, your go-to place for all things Clemson or Carolina. Get all your fall fashions at Rivals. It's wall-to-wall with the latest Clemson or Carolina gear, including dresses, shirts, shorts, shoes, and hats. And while you're there, gear up for your tailgating parties too, including tents, tables, chairs, coolers, and grills. Plus, check out their fan cave section. It's full of metal and wooden signs. At Rivals, the store divided. We now return to the high school football game of the week on 96.3 ESPN Radio.
Welcome back to the ESPN High School Football Game of the Week here on 96.3 ESPN Radio. Chuck, we have quite a fun matchup ahead of us tonight, a Florence rivalry, probably a lesser Florence rivalry to the other, like the South Florence-Wilson rivalry, the West Florence-Wilson rivalry, or the South Florence-West Florence rivalry. But Wilson really trying to make their name back after a disappointing season last year. That's a huge emphasis for Coach Wilson, like I said, establishing that program identity. And for Coach Wilkes, where is this team kind of heading? You're a big 5A school on paper. Everybody's looking at you. You should be able to take care of business in a game like this. For West Florence, let's start off with what are they going to have to do to fix up those miscues that they've seen so far at the beginning of this season and win a game on paper that they should be able to win?
Well, I mean, what they're going to do is, we already talked about it, they're going to try to establish a run. And what they can do is, because Wilson's defensive line is a little bit smaller than most that we've seen. So they have a chance to overpower them and to make an effect on Wilson's defense. Now, I want to change it just a little bit, because what I think is going to personally be the difference in this game, James, I personally think it's going to be special teams. The kicker from West Florence, I'm not going to mention names because I'm not that type of guy, but he missed a lot of just PATs last week in his game.
Right.
In the game that we saw, he struggled kicking the ball the one time.
And we also just saw issues in their punt protection as well. They got a punt blocked by South Florence as well. So definitely that's a huge factor for West Florence.
And I think that West Wilson has the advantage. If they still have the same kicker they had last year, Brand, I'll give him Taylor Brand. I'll give him his full name out there. But Brand was we saw him against South Florence, and he was struggling just to get the ball. But when he did, because South Florence, we already know their special teams are great.
Absolutely.
He was able to get by them and kick the ball and pretty well. So I think he's going to help with the field position for Wilson. We're going to see if special teams, like I think, are going to truly affect this game.
The captains coming on to the field to get ready to start this football game. The captains for Wilson: number 5, Zion Mack. Number 24, Darliste Crum. Number 70, Amir Gee. And I believe that is number 52, Colin Moses. And for West Florence, Romello Patterson, number 0. Number 11, Cooper Cray. Number 55, which is not listed on the roster, maybe a number change from an older roster. And I'm having a tough time seeing the last West Florence player's jersey number. We'll get that, but that is the captains for both teams in this rivalry matchup. Fans still filing in here at Tiger Stadium here in Wilson as both teams get ready to take the field. Chuck, not many atmospheres like Wilson High School. Their fan base is ravenous. They love them some Tigers, and it definitely shows that they're excited for their first home game of the season.
Yeah, I mean, in fact, James, they had the Peach Cobbler Factory out here, which we hadn't seen yet. So they know there's going to be a little bit of a party out here. It's a different atmosphere than most of the other places we go, but it is a phenomenal atmosphere. And we're excited to be here. We're in the press box live, ready to get this game on. It shouldn't be much longer, and we'll be starting this game. Looks like there's 1 minute and 12 seconds for a kickoff, James.
As the Wilson Tigers getting ready to take the field inside the Go Army helmet. And West Florence also prepared to leave Lawrence Timmons Fieldhouse. As the captains shake hands, Wilson will receive the ball to start this football game. Good luck to both teams and to the captains of both these teams. Obviously, a rivalry for all the seniors, captains involved. This game means a lot to them, especially for West Florence after losing that first game to South Florence. They don't want to go 0-2 to their rivals this year.
No doubt. They're going to expect to be different, and we're going to see what happens. James, we ain't got much longer. It looks like, sorry to keep harping up, but I don't know what I'm thinking that they're going to start right now, but they're not. We got time. I apologize, folks.
You know, Wilson's going to make their entrance. They're going to have it be all that and more for the Tigers. As last year, West Florence dominated this football game 41-0, but a different story this year. Coach Wilkes hosts for the same story as last year, but Coach Wilson hoping for a different outcome for his Tigers this year. Different vibe for the Tigers this year and a little uncertainty for the Knights. It should be a lot of fun to see how these two coaches respond.
Yeah, especially this is the first time that Wilkes has seen Wilson, so we're going to see how he adjusts to what Wilson does, because Wilson, like we talked about already, they're going to pass the ball a lot, and we're going to see what kind of adjustments that West Florence makes in this game, because they can get thrown on. We saw that with with South Florence. So West Florence better bring their also defensive
South Florence
A
really
game.
didn't need to throw that much on the Knights. They'll probably have to tonight. Here come both the Knights and the Tigers onto the field to start this football game. The Knights led by Coach Wilkes and the Tigers led by Coach Wilson. The Knights in all white with green lettering and green helmets with the WF logo. For the Tigers, purple jerseys with yellow pants and yellow helmets with the Wilson W on the side with white lettering for the Tigers. Wonderful uniforms. I love both these teams' uniforms and their colors. I love all the Florence teams' colors. Both also unique, and I think I'll do a great job at describing the teams as well.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely purple and gold area. Been that way since I was a kid, and this is a very good atmosphere. It's actually, to me, the nicest football stadium in Florence of all of them.
Ooh, bold take there, my friend.
Nobody else has got brick around here, but they do.
It does look good here, as always. We are ready for kickoff. This Sandstorm plays. The Knights will kick it off. Back deep for the Tigers. Number 1, Devon Bowman, who caught that game winner against Dillon last week. And I believe that is number 17, Caden Bethea, on the other side. Chuck, did you get the number for the kicker for West Florence?
The kicker? Or number, you were talking about the captain?
Oh, a flag immediately there. And
wow.
the kicker for West Florence looks to be number 21. That is Racine Wilson. Flag there against West Florence.
Offsides penalty, James. That's what it looks like.
As they'll re-tee it up, and it looks like they will back up 5 yards to the 35-yard line where we'll get underway now. Bowman and Bethea stand at their own 20-yard line.
I talked about special teams. There's your first special teams mistake.
That's an early indication for the Knights. That's not a good sign.
No, sir.
From right to left, the Knights will kick it off. And excuse me, that is number 20, Anton Vaughn, the kicker. He puts his left foot into it, underway to the left side of the field to Bethea. He'll bobble it, but will catch it at the 20-yard line, going to the right side, 30, and will slip down there as he crossed the field, tackled by number 25 for West Florence. That is Corey Patterson.
Yeah, very, very good possession by him. He didn't bobble that ball, James. He had a shot to get around the corner. He took that ball all the way from the left-hand hash over to the right-hand hash, and that's where he actually stumbled a little bit again and got tackled.
Early indication of Caden Bethea as well. We'll be calling number 17's name a lot tonight. Starting at the 33-yard line. First down for Wilson out of the gun. 2 tight ends to the left of Howard. He'll hand it off up the middle of the field. gain of about 3 yards as he is surrounded by a group of Knights. We didn't mention young Caleb Collins, the lead man in the backfield for the Tigers. He is a load to bring down in the backfield, a great compliment to the passing game of the Tigers.
Yeah, that was a nice push by their defense. I mean, by the offensive line to get him about another 2 yards, James, because those West Florence people swarmed to the ball.
They gave him about 3 yards on the play there. It is from the 35-yard line, handoff up the middle, and this time the Knights aren't having it. Great tackle there by number 16 of the Knights. That is Ishmael Dixon.
Yeah, he was right in there, and he also actually plays running back, too, as well. So he's going to be out there doing double duty. We just saw him. That was a nice tackle for a loss.
No rush for the Tigers here early on in this football game as they'll get their calls from the sideline. Out of the gun, he sends his tight end in motion, Cedric Bartell. He'll give it off up the middle to, that was Caleb Collins again, but this time the Knights are all over it.
And that is the captain that has a mysterious number. That's number 55 that also was in there on that sack.
Wish I could give that young man some credit, but a great tackle there. And that will set up, I believe, a 4th down, correct?
Yeah, we'll see about the punting action now.
The line judge hadn't marked it off yet to be a 4th down, but it is 4th down, and the Tigers bring out their punting unit.
Yeah, he didn't get any yardage, so there's no doubt that was going to be a 4th down.
The Tigers punter is number 23, which is also not on this roster. Low snap to him, but he'll be able to pick it up off the dirt and let it fly. A high spiraling kick out of bounds on the Wilson sideline. We'll see where they mark it off. It didn't go far. They'll mark it at the 41-yard line of the Knights, and that's where they'll take over on this first drive for the green and gold.
Well, now we're going to find out what Wilson's defense is kind of made of after that kickoff that we have. Punt that we just had. Now they got to see if they can handle West Florence, because we already know what West Florence is going to do. They're going to try to do the same thing that Wilson just tried to do.
Run this football. Yes, sir.
I'm surprised Wilson didn't throw the ball as pass heavy as they are.
They definitely wanted to try and establish the run early there, but the Knights and their defensive front answered early no. From the 41-yard line, Chase Anderson in at quarterback, 2 tight ends to his right. In the backfield, it is a handoff up the middle of the field, searching for blocks. He'll gain about 5 before a group of Tigers push him back. That was number 1, Jeremiah Bryant.
Yeah, that was a good push by their offensive line, however, because they got into the second part of their defense all the way gaining 5 yards, and then Wilson swarmed in. About 5 guys came in to tackle.
Looks like Chase Anderson subbed out of the game here. We will see what the Knights' answer is here on offense. We did see them run a lot of Wildcat as an answer to their quarterback problem against South Florence. We'll see what they do here, as it does appear to be Jeremiah Bryant in the backfield with, I believe that's number 11, Cooper Cray, I believe, in the backfield to receive this. No, it is Bryant under center, or out of the gun, and he'll take the snap and direct snap to him across the 50-yard line, but met by 2 Tigers. It'll be a gain of 4 there.
Yeah, that was number 16, Josiah Giles, who wrapped him up real quick. He didn't get much yardage at all, James. He got 4 yards. I apologize.
Trying to diagnose this West Florence offense early here. They're changing up their looks a lot as Chase Anderson comes back into the football game.
They're giving him a little eye candy right now with all these daggone substitutions and trying to confuse Wilson's defense. I know it's not quite the same eye candy that we're used to seeing, but
still plenty of time, as West Florence did a great job of subbing. Chase Anderson back in the game, sending number 19, Caden Taylor in motion. Handoff up the middle. Jeremiah Bryant's got running room down the left sideline. 35 to the right out of bounds at the 35-yard line. A quick burst of speed from number 1.
James, I'm not sure if you saw that. They didn't have anybody, receiver or anything, on the right-hand side. Everybody was over to the left-hand side, so they had, I guess they knew they were going to run it that way, and it was successful. But that was surprising. Normally you'll see a receiver on the other side, but they did not. The last player on the right side was an offensive lineman.
A testament to Jeremiah Bryant and his speed to get to that corner, as Tristan Collins now checks into the football game, along with number 4, Jawan Gamble, who returned a kickoff for a touchdown last week. He'll line up now as the quarterback in this offense. Empty set for him. He'll send Tristan Collins in motion on a sweep. He'll keep himself up the middle of the field, right into the Tiger defense, but he'll power forward to the 30-yard line. Another gain of about 4 or 5.
Yeah, so far, West Florence is establishing the run pretty well. They're getting at least to about 5 yards on every carry. That last one was a big burst, and Bryant can really run the ball.
Absolutely. Gamble, Bryant, Collins. We're going to be calling a lot of different backs. And Ishmael Dixon as well. You mentioned he'll be in the backfield too. And Chase Anderson, he can run the football. A lot of names we're going to be calling for the Knights tonight to make this offense go.
It looks like Chase is back in the game.
Big shift here. He's going to move all of his tight ends and his receivers to the right along with Collins. He'll give it to Collins up the middle of the field. He finds running room, breaks free. Out the back end goes Tristan Collins to the 5. He won't be caught. Touchdown, Knights.
That was a 30-yard run, James. Good to see. That was an explosive play, and they are making it obvious they're running. You just saw just then they took all their players from the left side, moved everybody up to the right. The last player on the left side was an offensive lineman. So they're making it clear what they're going to do, but he actually ran it to the left side that time.
Tristan Collins, a testament to that breakaway speed, kind of made a slight move in the hole to make that defender hesitate, and no one was going to catch T-Bird Collins.
It's a good idea because let's look at this PAT, sorry.
No problem. Let's see here. The drama continues for the special teams. A high snap, but it is good. Great kick there by number 20.
One thing they're doing by setting that up like that, James, if he does break away when he's doing it on the left side, they don't have anybody back there because they don't have anybody to cover. So all their defensive players are going over to the other side. So if he breaks free, there's no safety back there. There's no DB back there. It's a free run.
Go and cover 0, and then you just miss them, right?
It's a different style that I hadn't seen, but if it stays effective, it stays effective.
An early win for the Knights as they were able to establish that running dominance and that culture that Coach Wilkes wanted to establish here early in this football game. And the Tigers now, after going 3-0 on that first drive, we're going to have to see a little bit more from that passing game.
Yeah, the offense needs to step up, and this crowd will get out of it quickly because they're here to have fun, and they want to see Wilson whoop up on West Florence.
Bowman and Bethea back deep to receive the kickoff. .7:55 left to go in this first quarter as this kick is up and away to Bethea on that left side. He'll work right to the middle of the field. 30, 35, 40. 45, 50, he makes a man miss. 40, flags down, gets another block. 20, 15, 10, 5, but looks like that's going to be coming back. Touchdown, Wilson, but we'll check the flag.
Yeah, not sure who the penalty's on. More than likely, we'll see. But the way the team is acting on Wilson's side is that penalty's against Wilson. Dang. That was a special teams play that I was really talking about earlier. I was thinking, all right, here we go. Because sometimes you just need something to motivate that offense. We've seen that if you're watching college football. We've seen that with Carolina the last 2 weeks. Nothing like special teams to help your and they call it supplemental touchdowns now.
They call it beamer ball, baby.
Yeah, they do, but now they call it supplemental touchdown. Touchdowns are not by the offense. Anything like that is a supplemental touchdown. I like the new term.
It just goes to show Caden Bethea as well, dangerous with the ball in his hands. I think they're going to call the penalty on a block in the back there. I think as he was making a guy miss, he fell down and kind of ran into a West Florence player. Definitely doesn't take away from how great that run was, but with the penalty yardage, Wilson will start from their own 41-yard line. Excuse me, the 46-yard line. First down, give inside, breaking one tackle, barely getting back to the line of scrimmage is Caleb Collins.
Yeah, West Florence's team is swarming to the ball. I couldn't see who tackled it because there were so many people, so many bodies because they're going into the middle. But, yeah, they're stuffing that run right now, James. We're going to see because I've seen this before with West Florence where they kept going. I'm thinking eventually you got to go to the outside, pass the ball to open up the run if you can't do this. Howard
in the gun. 2 wide receivers on either side. He'll give it on the left. Running is Collins, but again, the Knights are there. It's going to be a loss of at least 4 or 5 in the backfield, and there's penalty flag as well on the field.
Yeah, that's going to be a hold against Wilson. Pretty sure that guy that was running out there was grabbing the defensive player that was trying to help him because he was trying to get him sprung out to the left-hand side.
We were concerned pregame about how Wilson was going to be able to create that balance on offense, and early on, not finding the running room.
And I could be wrong. We'll see.
The referees
Unless it was
still,
hands to the face on West
it was
Florence.
a holding call, but with the Knights getting a great tackle for loss there, they will decline the penalty and take the yardage from that. So it'll be 3rd down and 13 now for the Tigers.
That's a good call by Coach Wilkes to not take that penalty.
The former state champ head coach knows him some football.
Yeah, you don't win state championships unless you either have the greatest players or you know what you're doing.
You know your
coaching.
situations,
Yeah.
absolutely. Howard in the gun sends McWhite in motion to the right. He'll roll to the right. He was going to throw in a bootleg and is intercepted by Gamble. There he goes down the left sideline. He's got a blocker in front of him. 10-5 touchdown, West Florence.
43-yard interception return took it to the house, guys. This is going to be exciting for West Florence so far because both of their plays have been big plays. I don't know who he was throwing it to, because there was nobody in that area
He
but a
had
West Florence guy.
McWhite kind of to the
I
left there,
saw
but
it,
that ball sailed
that
on
ball
him.
was not even close to McWhite. That was 10 yards over McWhite's head, and he was what was it, the West Florence player?
That was Jawan Gamble with a great interception. Just
Gamble was ready for that. He took
happy-go-lucky to take that one to the house.
And here's been the weakness for West Florence is their PATs and their kicking. Let's see what happens.
A hot start for the Knights. Snaps down, kick is on the way, and this one is good for the Knights. The score now 14-0 here with 6:39 to go in the first quarter. The Tigers not looking good here early, but hopefully later on in this first quarter they'll be able to get it together. We'll step aside quickly here and take a break, and we'll be back after this.
Metal roof and wall siding is available locally at Adams Metal Building Supply, a 40-year-old company offering metal building supplies for your home, farm, and recreation projects. Adams Metal Building Supply can order walk-through metal door kits and overhead doors, as well as bolt-up metal buildings in 4 different sizes for the DIY homeowner. Adams Metal Building Supply, where quality meets durability. Call Heather today at 843-669-6399 or toll free at 1-888-766-0043.
We now return to the high school football game of the week on 96.3 ESPN Radio.
There goes Bethea again. He caught it at the 10. He's breaking a tackle. Breaks down midfield. All the way down to the 40 goes Caden Bethea again on an excellent return here. Welcome back to the game of the week with action galore as West Florence just kicked it off to Caden Bethea. Fumbled it again, but took it over 60 yards to the other side of the field, Chuck.
Yeah, no penalties this time, so he's going to get the full yardage. Unfortunately, last time we got a touchdown, they called it back. But this particular time, that his speed, that's why I was telling you that first time. If he didn't fumble that ball initially, I think he was going to get around to that side again. This time he took it to the left-hand side, and West Florence wasn't ready for it. They were used to him coming over to the other side.
West Florence kickoffs have been returnable so far. They tried to pin him in that corner again. It was almost a kickoff out of bounds, but Bethea took the gamble, picked up the football, and took it down that West Florence sideline now at the 41-yard line. Howard in the gun, but whistles blow on the snap. We'll check what the refs have to say about that.
And also, when you have Bethea, if you have that type that you've already had that speed, you're going to try it again, especially after you just almost scored. Well, you did score a touchdown, but it didn't count. But still,
he wants that back.
Yes, he almost got it.
That was a encroachment penalty against the Knights there as they got a early start there. It'll be 1st down and 5 now from the 46-yard line. Howard gives to Collins going left side, strung out, and maybe he got back to the line of scrimmage. Great tackle there by the Knights.
Yeah, the only excitement right now for Wilson has been their punt return. I mean, their kickoff return. Their offense is not doing anything as far as running the ball. And then the one time they did try to pass, you saw what happened. There was an interception, but they've got to get something going.
Matthew Benjamin strung him out and got the tackle. Now 2nd down. They gave him a yard there, but again, the referees blow the whistle here.
I don't see any flags this time, so
A
I think it's for a
substitution here,
yeah.
yes. They had to sub out a player, I believe, for either equipment or something along those lines, but good to go now. 2nd down and 5 from the 46-yard line. Howard in the gun, 2 receivers to his right. Uses a hard count, gets a little bit of movement there, but not enough to get him off the line of scrimmage. Still plenty of time here on the play clock as Howard checks to the sideline to his coach. Back in the gun, Collins to his right. He'll play fake it to him. Going to throw left side. Caught at the 15-yard line. That's Mick White. Wrestled out of bounds. He'll get out to the 13-yard line. A great catch there.
Nice play by Wilson. That was set up. He was throwing the ball whether he was going to be covered or not, but it was a good timing play. That receiver, beautiful catch. After he went out of bounds, he still fought to try to get a touchdown. Unfortunately, it didn't count.
You can see the timing there between him and the quarterback. Mick White knew just when to turn around and look for the football. A good back shoulder throw there.
Yeah, beautiful play.
Mick White now moves down to the Wilson sideline on the right. Howard in the gun, gives inside to Collins. Wrestling Knights off of him, immediately bouncing off of people, but he'll be shoved down. A physical run by Caleb Collins, but he'll gain maybe one.
I mean, West Florence is swarming to the ball on defense when it's a running play. They're there. They know that their game plan is to stop this run for sure, because that's what they're doing. If not, I mean, they're not just one person tackling, James. There's 3 or 4 or 5 coming out every time.
It's a host of Knights. It's hard to get a jersey number and who's really responsible so far, because the Knights are just gang tackling in the backfield.
Exactly. I wish we could give some people credit, but it's kind of hard to. They're tackling by population.
Wilson will call a timeout here with second down, and from the 13-yard line, they will call this timeout. We'll step aside as well with more first quarter action of the high school football game of the week.
For decades, Stoudenmeyer Dowling Funeral Home in Florence has been there for our community to help them heal after a loss with dignified and memorable funeral services. When you choose Stoudenmeyer Dowling Funeral Home, you're choosing a legacy of trust when it comes to caring for both those who have gone and the family and friends they left behind. Everyone grieves differently, but Stoudenmeyer Dowling Funeral Home is committed to helping you through it. They're always available to you by phone, email, Facebook, and their website at StoudenmeyerDowling.com.
Now back to the high school football game of the week on 96.3 ESPN Radio.
Welcome back to the ESPN Radio high school football game of the week here at Wilson High School. Wilson trailing 14-0 here, first quarter action with 4:35 to go. Here in the red zone, Howard, a quarterback keeper off that right side. There he goes, and there goes Tristan Howard for a walk-in Wilson touchdown out of the timeout.
Yeah, they actually finally used a play that would work as far as running goes. No offense, Wilson, but you kept running the ball up the middle or to the sides with the same running back. You finally did a quarterback draw on the outside. Bam, touchdown.
Kind of goes a little bit against that West Florence aggressiveness. They've been honing in on that running back, and then Howard pulled it.
Exactly. Good play call by Coach Wilson.
Extra point pending now for the Tigers as life has been injected back into the sideline. It was a little bleak there for a moment, but the Tigers responded well.
A lot of that has to do with that special teams kickoff. That just brings energy into everybody.
If you're Coach Wilkes, that's not a good sign so far that your kicker can't get that a touchback, and you're going to have to kick it to Bethea or Bowman about every time they score.
I might want to switch it over to Bowman at this point to see what he.
Right. Extra point. Snaps down. Kick is blocked. Blocked. It is short kick. It hit one of the penetrating Knight defenders, and that didn't go nowhere. It's down right there, but a great play there by the Knight special team.
Yeah, that knocked down the block. This is what it may not come to this, but it's really what I thought was going to happen, special team play, and so far it's kind of back and forth with how special teams are going.
I believe that was number 8, Derek Austin, but that happened so fast, and that was just a line drive kick. I feel like that probably hurt whoever that hit.
Luckily, most of them have helmets. Hopefully it didn't hit their arm.
The score stays 14-6.
Those are missed points, though, in a game like this. I think it's going to come down. We're going to see, but I honestly thought it was going to come down to a 3-point game. That particular point is going to be very valuable. They're going to have to get it back with some type of 2-point conversion.
Trying to see who the men back there are for the Knights. I believe one of them is going to be Jeremiah Bryant, trying to see. I believe that is also Jawan Gamble, who just had the pick 6 back there as well.
Yes, number 18.
Number 18. That's Malachi Hall back there then. Number 23 for Wilson kicks it away, a high end-over-end kick that gets to the 15-yard line, caught there and is returned by Hall, 30, 35, and brought down there near the sideline. Good play by the Wilson special teams to keep him there on the sideline.
Yeah, that's a good play by West Florence's special team. They just picked up an extra 25 yards on that kickoff return. Now they're at the 38-yard line. Um, good position. I mean, ideal.
Absolutely. Excellent field position
yeah.
again for the Knights.
If you're past that 30-yard line, 35-yard line, you're doing good every single time.
It
That's
takes
where you
so
wanna
much
be.
pressure off your offense when you have that room to spare.
They're just playing field position. Even if something doesn't go right here, they can punt.
Absolutely. Into the game, no quarterback entering the field for the Knights. It is Collins and Bryant in the backfield. I believe Bryant is going to be the man that's going to be receiving the snap. Cooper Cray in to block, as well as they send number 6, that is North Willis, in motion. Keeper for Tristan Collins up the middle of the field as he weaves through defenders across the 40-yard line, just shy of the 45. They'll mark him. That'll be a gain of 5 on the play.
They've got Wilson confused on how to defend this right now because you don't know who's going to be running the ball, and they keep bringing all the receivers to one side. They're leaving the whole side, one side, empty every time.
There's at least 2 Knights being subbed in on every single play as well, Chuck. Coach Wilkes is going to be exhausting his resources here with this bigger roster size.
And now they got everybody on the left-hand side, so we're going to see, because the right-hand side, there's not a player over there. If they go over there, there's not a safety or anything to stop this.
You do have those tight ends, though, lined up on that right side as run blocking as well. So
yeah, it's just if they spring it, there's nobody back over there. Just a different offense that I haven't seen before. Pretty innovative.
Looking to see what the referees are stopping play for here. I believe it has something to do maybe with the clock here. 4:12 to go in this first quarter of action.
And the quarterback is back in for West Florence.
Chase Anderson.
Yes.
Bryant staying in at tailback.
It's going to be a running play, though. I'm pretty sure. West Florence hasn't passed the ball yet.
Not yet. Still early, man. Still early. They're going to be throwing the wrinkles in there at some point for sure.
If you're running the ball like this, why would you throw it? You can run the clock out, control everything, and win the game.
2nd down and 4 now to Anderson. He's going to give up the middle of the field, and Wilson's got an answer for you, my friend.
Yeah, first time Wilson got in there and got a tackle for a loss. Something their defense needed to gain some confidence because they've been getting run over pretty well, guys.
Huge tackle in the backfield there. He'll lose at least 3 yards, I believe, there.
Yeah, I think that was number 9, Tamari Eccles.
Yep, Tamari Eccles, who plays linebacker and is also going to be the backup quarterback.
Biggest play for their defense so far.
3rd down and 4 now after the great tackle in the backfield.
There's another stoppage for some reason. Referees let this go. Y'all killed the momentum of the game a little bit.
Signaling upstairs as to the clock stoppage. 3:32 to go. Clock did stop.
Substitutions again for West Florence. I'm not exactly sure what this is about, James.
There's somebody saying something over the overcom as well, trying to get somebody's attention here. I believe they are yelling at the band, I believe, to stop playing during play.
Ain't nothing like
the boos
your
of the
own
crowd.
home team trying to mess with you so you can't hear.
Hey, they're on defense, man. They say bring the noise.
It was West Florence that called it down. Sorry. So the fans are going to ring
Fake
the cowbells.
to Collins. Bryant looking left, rolls back to the right. All types of Tigers with him in the backfield, and they won't even let him get back to the line. 4th down for the Knights. They'll have to punt.
Yeah, that looked like a busted play. It looked like he was trying to hand off, and then Wilson got in his face, and he tried to just do anything he could with it. And Bryant did do his best to get back at least to the line of scrimmage. Let's see what West Florence decides to do, whether they're going to punt or go for it on 4th down in their own territory.
They sub so often, it's hard to really tell what the Knights are doing, but looks like it is still an offensive formation out of the shotgun. Chase Anderson, 2 wide receivers to either side. Tristan Collins in the backfield. Jeremiah Bryant in the backfield with him. Now they switch to a more punt formation, and it will be Chase Anderson booting this away from the 35. End over end kick. It bounces with nobody back to receive it. And the Knights will mark it dead there at the 32-yard line of Wilson.
Yeah, he did look like a. We've seen him actually kick before or punt before in game with South Florence. So I had a feeling when I saw him backing up that was about the end of him thinking about throwing that ball. But they don't have a big punt game.
No, it's kind of take it where you can get it as far as field position goes right now. Both teams are kind of starting it with quality field position. Now let's see what Wilson will do from the 31-yard line. Howard in the gun, 3 receivers to his right. He'll fake it to Collins, swing it out to McWhite on that right side. Break a tackle, break another tackle, 35, 40, 45. Still going all the way to the 50-yard line goes McWhite.
Now Wilson's offense starting to move a little bit better, and if their defense can stop West Florence, this is going to be one heck of a game.
McWhite showed a little bit of that electricity right there, making 2 Knights miss and exploding out of into the backfield there. First down now, near the midfield line. They mark him at the 49. Clock stop again by the referee here, and I believe it is the band. So there.
I couldn't understand what he said. I heard him say something about offense.
The bands are on. Wilson is on offense, and the band was playing, but a stoppage there. But Wilson hands off to Collins, and he won't get back to the line of scrimmage there.
Now, what they just did, that's the normal play we've seen by Wilson over and over and over, and it doesn't get them any yardage. They're going to have to continue doing what they're doing, trick plays. I know they want to run the ball like that, but it's not happening right now, James, and you've got that. If the only way to do that to me is to open it up by doing other plays.
Howard in the gun, now 3 wide receivers to his left. Collins staying in the backfield. Minute 30 and counting here in the first quarter of play. In the gun, Howard looks to the left, throws. It's complete. 35, 40-yard line. Tackle there after a first down by a shoestring tackle. That was Caden Bethea again on the catch.
Yeah, nice design play. Got 11 yards, I believe, is what he got on that. It could have been 10, but I thought it was 11.
Enough for a first down, 10 or 11 yards.
Yeah, that's a nice play. This is what we wanted to see Wilson do, is throw the ball, because this running game is not doing anything.
Staying in that trip set for the Wilson Tigers. Now throwing outside to McWhite on a screen again. 35, 40, 45, 30. Down to the 25-yard line. McWhite just explosive down that sideline there, quickly getting another first down.
Yeah, you can see the speed in what you were talking about before with McWhite. I know he's not the Coach Wilson's kid running the 10-second in a 100-meter, but he's got some speed.
That short area burst for McWhite is special.
And we've seen it last year. He's still explosive.
Now at the 25-yard line, trips to the right. Again, they're going to throw a screen out to that side, breaking a tackle to the 25, 15-yard line, thrown down to the ground with a flag. Number 23 on the catch there. Don't have a jersey, or excuse me, a name for the jersey number for the young man. We'll also have to check this flag.
They're starting to throw the ball outside, which is what they were trying to run it outside, but now they're just using the throw and it's working. They're moving the ball very well right now.
It was an aggressive tackle there, but we'll see what they do. Call it a horse collar tackle on the Knights, so that'll get them half the distance to the goal. And it'll be first and goal for the Knights from the 8-yard, or excuse me, for the Tigers from the 8-yard line.
This is the first time we've seen their offense in the red zone. So let's see if they can put some.
I believe Eccles checks into quarterback, and he's going to keep it on the right side, powering forward. Tamari Eccles to the goal line, reaching. He won't get in. But what an effort by number 9.
I know it don't sound great because they got 8 yards, but what a defensive stand. He was about to score. They turned his body to make sure he's right there on the right hash mark. I mean the pylon, and they kept him from putting that ball over.
Eccles staying in at quarterback. I'm sure that we can all imagine what the play call will be here, as Eccles was emotional getting stopped there, probably wanting to run it again. They mark him out at the 2-yard line. Second down, Eccles calls for it. He'll go right side off tackle, and the Knights stand again, reaching for the goal line, though. Touchdown, Tigers. Tamari Eccles with a superhuman effort.
West Florence tried their best to stop it. They almost had, like you just said, that extra second effort. He was able to stretch the ball over as he was getting tackled and get a score.
With 36 seconds to play here in the first quarter of action, the Knights up by 2 now with the extra point pending. And I'm sure with the struggles last time, the Tigers may be looking to go for 2.
Yeah, to make the score a 14-14 tie, you're going to have to go for 2. Plus, like you said, the struggles they've had.
Eccles staying in at quarterback, motioning a man, and a flag flies. It is a false start on the offense, and that will back them up. That may change the decision for Coach Wilson.
Correct. Now we're going to see if they pull out the kicker.
Or if they just want to change to Tristan Howard and throw the ball.
True. This is just a long way to go for 2 points. You don't normally see this, but it looks like they're going to. Oh, no, here comes the kicking unit.
Well,
I believe they're subbing in about 4 players. We're going to see if
no, I believe this is a offensive substitution here, getting out of that heavy set and bringing in the offense.
No, you're right.
Tristan Howard enters the game along with Mick White and Bethea. They're definitely going to be throwing this empty set for Howard here on this 2-point try. Howard looks left. He's going to roll to his right immediately, throws short, incomplete into traffic, and that ball didn't have a chance for Bethea.
No, that's the second bad pass that he's had tonight. That wasn't close to anybody, Collins.
The score stays 14-12. West Florence here with 36 seconds to go. But some signs of life for the Wilson offense, Chuck.
Yeah, I mean, the game now is, I know it's not tied up, but it's 2 touchdowns to 2 touchdowns. One was, both of their scores were offensive, but the special teams is what set up both of these, to
Absolutely.
be honest.
That so far is really, that's made the difference on the scoreboard, and as far as how these teams have been able to score, the special teams has played a huge factor as we predicted so far tonight.
Yeah, I mean, just even these 2 points are special team points, and they're missing from Wilson's side. These points are going to be important, in my opinion, especially this tight game that we have going on.
Back deep for the Knights is going to be Jawan Gamble and Malachi Hall. Number 23 for the Tigers will kick this off. From left to right, he boots it to the left side of the field, right to Malachi Hall again at the 15-20, cutting back inside, cutting all the way across the field, breaking a tackle, 25-yard line. Now a group of Tigers will shove him out of bounds shy of the 30-yard line.
And that was the best special teams play they've had as far as tackling and keeping them from going anywhere. They didn't make the 30-yard line, which is exactly, if you're Wilson, what you want. You'd rather get them back behind the 20 if you can, of course, but with the field position that West Florence has had all night, this is the worst position they've had all night.
And neither of these kickers, I feel like, really have the leg to get it into the other team's end zone, so we'll be in a return situation for most of this football game for both these special teams.
Well, against South Florence, the West Florence kicker was able to kick it into and he is a little bit deeper of a kicker, but I agree with what you're saying. It's very tough for either one of them. But it does matter, and West Florence's kicker, to me, has a little bit more strength.
T-Bird Collins will take the direct snap from the Knights in an empty set. He'll clap his hands to draw him offside, and I believe he did draw the Tigers off.
Yeah, he did.
That's a free 5 yards for the Knights, and they'll take it any way they can get it.
Yeah, it's number 99 who got drawn offsides.
Jabron McFadden.
Yes, sir. He unfortunately went for that snap count.
Staying in that same set, Collins claps his hands this time, receives the football, cutting right side, finding running room, and that'll be a first down across the 40-yard line for T-Bird. Marked down at the 42-yard line.
They gave him a first down on it.
They did give him the first?
Yeah. They stopped the clock. There he goes. Now the clock's running again. Looks like we're going to the end of the first.
The Knights are content to not snap the football again. At the end of the first quarter, West Florence 14, Wilson 12. We'll be back with the second quarter of action here on the ESPN High School Football Game of the Week after this break.
From the Florence Toyota Studios, this is WOLH Florence, 96.3 ESPN Radio, the worldwide leader in sports.
Football season is just ahead, so time to make a trip to Rivals, the store divided. Your go-to place for all things Clemson or Carolina. Get all your fall fashions at Rivals. It's wall-to-wall with the latest Clemson or Carolina gear, including dresses, shirts, shorts, shoes, and hats. And while you're there, gear up for your tailgating parties too, including tents, tables, chairs, coolers, and grills. Plus, check out their fan cave section. It's full of metal and wooden signs. At Rivals, a store divided. More live action. It's the high school football game of the week on 96.3 ESPN Radio.
Welcome back to the high school football game of the week here on 96.3 ESPN Radio here at Wilson High School in a Florence football rivalry, as the Knights have come from the west side of town and have put up 14 points in that first quarter of action, up 14-2 on the home team. And starting this drive, Chuck, West Florence really has been able to establish the run so far in this football game. What does Wilson really need to do? Do they need to sell out for the run? Obviously, they haven't even attempted to pass, but you know that Coach Wilkes has got that special play in his back pocket for when they sell out.
They're going to have to penetrate through that offensive line like they did the last drive and be able to stop West Florence. They figured out something last drive. They've got to continue to do what that was. West Florence is in that unique offense again.
Oh, fumbled snap by Gamble. They have to retrieve and pick it up. His teammate instead will retrieve it and pick it up as a host of Tigers will drive. I believe that's Tristan Collins into the ground on a heads-up play there by him.
Yeah, I mean, that's surprising he was able to get that ball. There were 5 Wilson people on there trying to knock him down to get the ball because he had not established the possession at that point. Good job by that young man.
Big loss of 7 yards there by Juwan Gamble on that missed snap there. It just went right through his hands. Anderson now back in the game, trips to his left, and more whistles.
Now I'd be wondering if West Florence is going to try their first pass attempt. The officials have called a timeout again.
Not sure what the stoppage of play is here. More whistles, and now I believe we will resume play. Interesting. Trips for Anderson. Jeremiah Bryant in the backfield to his right. No deep safety for the Tigers. They send a blitz. He'll throw it quickly. Anderson has his tight end, Cooper Cray, for a first down and more, dragging Tigers to midfield. He gains an extra 5 yards, and that'll be close to a first down.
Yeah, that was a nice play by Cooper Craig. That was pretty much a 5-yard pass, and he put on an extra 9 yards, just short of the – well, no, they gave him the first down. He was short of it, but they gave it to him.
First down for the Knights just across midfield at the 49-yard line. That's the first time we've really called Cooper Cray tonight. The first pass for the Knights is a success, and that's got to give you a little bit of hope if your coach looks to mix that in later on.
Yeah, nice play. I'd hush about the first down, but I don't know how that was a first down.
Trips now to the right side, and this is Bryant on a keeper up the middle of the field and driving forward. Still has momentum as they will stop his forward progress at a 7-yard gain.
I mean, that young man has some power. He ran that inside. They were all over him. He still pulled people outside, ran to the right side, and then drug them for another to get to the 7-yard mark. What a remarkable play by him. Bryant has some skills.
Absolutely. He has been a bright spot, the junior, for this Knights offense so far this season. Their leading rusher.
Wilson needs to stop right here because we're getting, they're getting into a position where West Florence will be ready to run this down their throat over and over.
2nd down and 4 up the middle of the field. And speaking of running down your throat, an easy handoff, barely touched after he's passed that first down. That'll be a gain of 6 or 7 for the Knights. It's Jeremiah Bryant again for a first down.
And we've seen this already tonight. That's why I was hoping for Wilson's sake that they would be able to stop this, because I could feel they're about to start running this ball straight up the middle again and seeing if Wilson can stop them.
At the 34-yard line now is where Bryant was marked down. Threatening the red zone here with 9 minutes here in the second quarter of action. 2 receivers for Anderson as he moves Cray over to his right. Snap, and he'll hand it off. Bryant going right side. He's got running room as he's still not touched until he gets to the 25-yard line, and he's brought down at the 20. That's a gain of at least 14 yards and another first down.
Yeah, you don't want your DB, DeJuan Bowman, number 1, making tackles that deep. You want your linebackers.
Well, he's not the first person to touch him.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. You don't want him. You don't want that. That's your DB. You've got to get some type of something, push, touch the guy, knock him, make him move. Because if he's getting to your DB every time, West Florence is going to, like we talked about, they do this. West Florence they'll end up beating Wilson just because of time and everything.
Bryant now, and at quarterback, Tristan Collins to his right, claps his hands. He'll fake it to Collins and keep it up the middle of the field, but the Tigers saw it coming. He'll maybe gain a yard as he was slung forward. I believe that was number 16, Joshua Giles, on the tackle.
And that's the confidence they need. They need plays like that because when you're getting smash mouth football and you're just getting drove over, those kind of plays right there make you realize, hold on, wait, we can stop them. And we need more of those plays to get this and stop West Florence.
Pardon me, that was not 16. That was 18, Jaden Boston, their leading tackler, obviously, with that physical bring down there.
Yeah, both Bostons are very good on Wilson's defense.
2nd down and 10 now for the Knights as Collins in to receive the snap this time. Cray to block. He'll lead the way for Collins as he patiently bursts through the middle. There goes Tristan Collins all the way down inside the 10-yard line. A patient run for 41.
He must have just been following his blockers because that was a sea of people all the way down. It looked like he was tackled 5 yards prior to that, and we couldn't see what was going on. I couldn't see. I don't know if you could, James, but it was hard to tell what happened.
I could see him just moving around a little bit, but he just kept going.
We just saw the ending income, which was another first down.
All the way to the 9-yard line. 1st and goal now for the Knights as Anderson checks back into the football game. Jeremiah Bryant in the backfield with him. 2 receivers to his left, nobody on that right sideline. They'll give it to Bryant up the middle of the field, falling forward inside the 5 to about the 4 or 3-yard line.
Yeah, that was a saving tackle for a touchdown. I didn't catch his number, but nice tackle by Wilson's player. They needed that because they need to stop them here if they can. At least try to. If they can keep them to the 3 points, that would be 5 points, and they can use that. It's going to be hard to stop them, though, because they've had trouble stopping them up the middle.
2nd down. They mark him at the 4-yard line. 6:40 and counting here in the second quarter of action as the Knights have eaten into this clock. Collins on direct snap. He'll go right. The Tigers will penetrate, but Collins will break a tackle. Looking for the corner, and he's got it. Touchdown, Knights, Tristan Collins.
Oh, I got to get that guy's number if I can get it, James. I don't know if you saw that block by his teammate, but that is what sprung him for that touchdown. Beautiful team play.
A patient run there by Collins as he was able to shut off one of the ankle tackles and kept finding that corner, and then finally hard left turn into the end zone.
Man, that blocking sprung him for that touchdown. I just wish I had that guy's name. That was beautiful.
Excellent downfield blocking for the Knights in this run scheme. They preach on that. Extra point pending here. The snap's down. The kick is on the way, and it's right down the middle so far. The Knights have looking good on the special teams in the extra point department.
Yeah, he's 3 for 3 with PATs. Last week he at least missed 2. I didn't get to see exactly how many, but
more whistles by the referees. I don't see any laundry on the field, but they're calling for something here.
They've confused me a little bit all night tonight. I mean, they just stop it over and over and over.
Seeing what's going on here is they got Coach Wilkes all the way down at the 18-yard line to talk to him here. Yeah, I believe we're all square here. Unsure, but I believe the score is still 21-12 as the Knights will tack on another touchdown with 6:29 to go here in this second quarter, as the Tigers will get ready to receive this kickoff as they got the T-shirt gun down there for the student section of Wilson as they are enjoying it so far in this first home game of the season for them.
Looks like an Army representative shooting that out. God bless our military. But that gun doesn't shoot very far. That thing comes out like a parachute.
It's
it only
loud, too.
It goes about 12 foot and then stops. The shirts do. I think they need to work on wrapping those things up a little bit so they'll go a little further.
Bowman and Bethea back deep at their 15-yard line to return the kicks.
This has been Wilson's biggest part so far is their punt return. So let's see if they give it to him again or not.
The Tigers are backing up their return coverage here as if there was a penalty on the extra point try that wasn't elaborated. Yes, now they'll give us the penalty. It is running into the kicker on the Tigers on that extra point try. And so that will, let's see where they're going to mark this at, all the way to the Wilson 45-yard line.
All right, now here's the chance somebody can kick it out of the end zone,
This
James.
is
They
prime
got
time right here.
15 yards extra.
Hey, there's guys in the NFL that can easily knock this through the uprights. So
There's guys in the NFL that can kick it from 40 yards off
the other
side.
way.
Yeah.
So now from Wilson's 45-yard line, from right to left, this kick will go. A squib kick to the sideline as they tried a little interesting special teams play, but that kick will go right out of bounds to try to surprise the Tigers, but it will bite the Knights, and it'll give good field position for Wilson.
Almost like they were trying to do an onside kick, but that was a pooch kick that went about, 10 yards, and West Florence is going to take the ball at the 35-yard line when they could have easily been pinned back and get the ball at the 20 at the most.
There wasn't much of a hop on that onside kick. Not really any chance for either parties to return that or to try to retrieve it. So they'll mark it at the 36-yard line. First down for the Tigers, down 9.
And that's where that penalty came in, James, because the ball hit before the 35, they get to spot it before the 35. I forgot about that rule.
Collins in the backfield, McWhite to the left near the Wilson sideline. As we still are waiting for play, as the referees are still chatting it up. It looks like a procedure penalty on the kickoff against the Knights as well. They got an early start on that kickoff there. That'll be, they have marked it in the correct spot at the 36-yard line, so that is where we'll have it.
I think they must have denied the penalty.
Knights showing blitz on Howard as he sends a man in motion. He'll give it to him going left side, trying to find a block. He'll break it right to the 40-yard line. A great tackle there by Romello Patterson.
And honestly, that's probably the best run they've had besides their quarterback was that 3-yard run. They might have had one other run for 6 yards, but 3 yards is not going to get you a first down. 3, 3, 3, that's 9.
I wish I had number 23's name. He's not listed on the depth chart. He's been involved and has played a lot of snaps at that receiver position. 3 receivers now for Howard. 2 to his left, 1 to his right. Again, he'll fake the hard count and get the Knights to show their hand here. Clayton Foltz looks like he was coming on a blitz there. We'll see what they do now. Sending a man in motion, orbit motion. He'll give it up the middle. No, he fakes it. He'll swing it to the side on a backwards pass, trying to break a tackle in the backfield, but a great play there. Jawan Gamble got him in the back for a loss.
Yeah, that's the running back Collins. He was trying to set up a screen, but it's a different style screen. He actually threw the ball backwards, and so I think it kind of threw off the momentum, and West Florence's tackler was able to get in there a little easier because the ball was thrown backwards. Not sure what that play design was exactly. You normally see him try to catch him in motion. He was throwing him backwards.
Right.
And he started, just no momentum once he caught the ball.
I was honestly thinking it could have been a double pass because it was thrown behind the line of scrimmage. That's what I was kind of thinking there. But
yeah, you just don't normally see that. And then
3rd and 12, but it looks like Coach Wilkes got the timeout off just in time before this huge 3rd down for his Knights defense to try to get the Tigers off the field.
And I don't really blame Coach Wilkes right now. The way that Wes Wilson is throwing the ball, except for those two errant passes, he's been on pretty well on target, and
just a huge play to try to get this ball back
ready
before
for it.
half.
Yeah, so that's why I was saying they need to be ready for it. And that's what he's doing is getting their defense ready for this deep ball because they're going to hit this. They're going to do their best to hit a 12, 14-yard pass. They got to get a first down. They're 12 yards behind.
Wilson received the ball in that first half, so the Knights will get it in the second half. So this really can turn the tide, this situation right here. If the Knights get a stop, get that score, then get the ball back after halftime, that'll put the Tigers in a pretty big hole.
Yeah, that could turn out that way, James, and that's where Wilson really, really needs this first down. I know it's going to be hard for them, but they need it just to keep the momentum on their side.
With the struggles
or not
in the
on
punting
their side,
game,
but they started again on their side, I should say.
Right. 3rd and 12, and they'll have it at the 34-yard line. Trips to Howard's left in the gun. He'll take the snap, play action. He's got a clean pocket, but now he'll step up, trying to still look downfield. Throws on a sidearm, and it is intercepted. Errant throw picked off by number 8, Derek Austin of the Knights.
That ball was tipped, James. I don't know if you saw it, and that's why it went over the head. I don't know who it was on West Florence's side, but they got their hand up exactly at the right time to push that ball up high enough for it to get to the safety.
The second interception of the night for Tristan Howard will give the Knights excellent field position right at the their own 47-yard line, or excuse me, the 43-yard line, pardon me.
And this is what the scary part could be. If they can run this ball and run the clock out like we were talking about, and then they score, James, and then they get the ball. And
Wilson will have their work cut out for them, absolutely.
Big time. That's exactly what Coach Wilkes wants.
Great field position here for Anderson in the gun as he takes the snap, hands off up the middle of the field, and another great burst of speed through the middle. That was, I believe, Jeremiah Bryant again for 9, and he gets it across midfield to the 47-yard line of Wilson.
West Florence has been able to run the ball pretty well the whole night. They've only had one pass, and the only reason they did that is because they actually got sacked.
They got backed up a little bit, had to throw, and they converted.
Yeah. If it wasn't a sack, I think it was a sack, actually.
Anderson with Bryant in the backfield, moving Cray in motion. Give it to Bryant going left side, following his blockers and pushing forward for this time. They'll give him the first down across to the 40-yard line, and the Knights threatening here with 4 minutes to go.
I mean, the way this game has been going, West Florence has pretty much had its way being able to run up the middle or just run the ball. We've only seen like three, 4 big stops by Wilson on their running attack.
They're really going to have to adjust and either add more personnel into the box to try to stop the Knights or just sell out with what they got.
And we talked about Wilson having players on both sides and also having a smaller defensive line. So they've been getting pushed around all night.
1st and 10 from the 40-yard line for Chase Anderson. Tristan Collins now in the backfield as he'll give it to T-Bird, patiently moving inside, and he'll gain about 4 yards on the carry there. Clock running, 3:20 to go.
A nice design run by them. They're doing the same thing they've done. They're just going to methodically go down the field, run the ball. If they spring one, they do. If not, they're getting 4 or 5 yards on most carries, which is going to be a first down over and over.
West Lawrence is very content to run the last 3 minutes of this first half off and just take the points and then get the ball back after halftime and not even let Wilson get it.
Yeah, I mean, if you can do this, why wouldn't you? And they're doing it. Coach Wilkes came in with a good plan.
Absolutely. He wanted to establish this running identity after that win against Marion. And right there, I believe we're going to have a false start on the Knights. That'll get them off schedule.
Yeah, if there's anything that's going to hurt the Knights, it would be penalties. Because Wilson, unfortunately, is not stopping this run. I know I sound repetitive, but we're also calling a game, so every time it happens, I'm going to be calling it out. They just got stopped again. They could use this, though. That puts West Lawrence in a negative position.
Anderson now will take this snap. 2nd down and 11. 3 wide receivers with Cray still in at tight end. Give up the middle to Collins, and again, plenty of running room for Tristan Collins, spinning away from a defender in traffic just shy of the 30-yard line. That'll be about a gain of 8 or 9 yards, just shy of the first down.
Yeah, I mean, the way they're continuing this offensive drive right now, West Florence Wilson needs to stop them right now. They have 2 yards to go for a first down. More than likely, though, West Florence will go 2 downs right here.
I'm sure this will probably be 2-down territory for Coach Wilkes as well. And with the amount of rotating bodies in there for the Knights, who knows who's going to be getting the next touch as they all look at their play sheet here. 10 to go on the play clock now. Anderson sending a man in motion. Snap, give up the middle of the field. I believe that's Jeremiah Bryant, but he's stonewalled by the Tigers. He's back to the line of scrimmage, but nothing more. And now it's 4th down.
Well, that's one way to get your guy tackled. West Florence running back run into his own offensive lineman, and then Wilson stepped in and was able to tackle him. So give the assist to the West Florence offensive lineman, but Wilson needed that tackle.
4th down and probably 1.5 yards is what the official call will be here as the Knights looking to the sideline. Offense not moving off the field as they definitely look to be going for it here. I believe Coach Wilkes is probably going to go ahead and call one of the timeouts here with the play clock running down.
Yeah, it's going to get it down to right about a minute, and then he's going to call timeout. Yep, 1 minute.
1 minute to go here in this first half of action. West Florence driving here on the edge of the red zone here. This is a huge play for Wilson's defense. You're not looking to get points anymore in this half. You're trying to get a stop this bleeding at this point to foil the Knights' plan of getting the ball scoring after half.
I'd say with a minute left, I promise you Wilson's probably not going to just sit back and do victory style. They're going to try to throw the ball because at worst, West Florence then, unless they can run it back on an interception, the worst thing they'll have is an interception further down the field, and by then the clock will not be so much favorable for West Florence the way their offense is.
That'll all depend on the stop, obviously.
Yes. Yeah, West Florence's offense is definitely not designed to run fast plays and score quickly. They can do it when the run opens up, of course.
Absolutely.
For explosive plays, but on a normal basis, they're methodical. They're going to do 5 yards, 4 yards, 8 yards, 12 yards, 3 yards.
And they're going to be changing up different players who are going to be receiving this in different motions and things like that. It is definitely for a Wilson team that doesn't quite have that 5A personnel, it definitely will wear down on a defense.
It's neat to see Wilkes. Wilkes has changed his offense from the first game for sure. No doubt. I've never seen where they don't put a player on one side.
Probably had to adjust a little bit. 2 men in the backfield with Collins. Direct snap. No, that's Bryant, but a flag flies here as the ball is snapped. So that may change the offensive game plan here if this is against the Knights. And it is a penalty, a procedure penalty against the Knights. That will back them up 5 yards. 4th down and about 7 now. Changes your game plan if you're Coach Wilkes.
Yeah, but I don't see Anderson in there. And Anderson was the kicker last time, so it looks like they might actually go for it. When I say, I'm sorry, not kicker, but punter. Oh, no, I see Anderson. He is in the game.
I don't see him.
He's over on the side over there, number 3.
He is coming on to the sideline now as
he's in the game right now. He's more than likely going to punt. 10
seconds to go here again, and I believe Coach Wilkes will continue to use the timeouts that he has here.
He's probably going to take the penalty.
No, he's got a timeout in his back pocket.
I didn't know if he was going, if he wanted to move it back a little bit because I don't think they're going for it. I think they're going to punt. We'll see.
I'd say after this, you're not going to call a timeout if you're going to punt.
I just got a feeling number 3. Well, I didn't see if you're not going to hurt yourself by going back 5 yards if you're going to punt with that little bit of time left.
Right at a minute remaining here in this second quarter of action. Halftime will be coming up. Matt Jordan will have the scores from around the state to catch y'all up on. As I'm sure the Wilson faithful are excited to hear the band during their halftime performance here tonight.
They weren't so happy to hear him during the game.
I think
the
home crowd was, but not so much the refs.
The referees and the offense of West Florence wasn't really loving it.
Here we go. Chase Anderson in at quarterback. 5 wide set here. They're kind of leaving their options open here on this 4th down and 7. Man in motion, direct snap to Another penalty flag. Anderson took the snap and was going to throw it out to Tristan Collins.
That was a timeout by Wilson, actually, not a penalty.
Wilson will call a timeout. And now they get a great call timeout by Coach Brian Wilson as well. Get to see what Coach Wilkes had in his bag of tricks there for that 4th down. And again, just a little chess match by the first-year coaches here.
Yeah, no doubt. This particular time, West Florence's Anderson, the quarterback, was set up to actually get the ball to try to either throw it or either to hand it off to another teammate. He didn't back up any to punt, so it doesn't look like they're going to punt, but we'll see. Now, Coach Wilkes may change his opinion, and they may have Anderson out there. They may punt. We'll see.
That's the chess match of being a head football coach, man.
Yeah, it's enjoyable to watch.
Both these first-year coaches have done a great job so far with these programs, and I'm sure both fan bases are very excited to have them as the leaders of their teams moving forward.
This is still West Florence. If they can get through this, they can still score. There's enough time, but Wilson really needs this stop.
Here we go. Once again, it is 4th down and 7. A minute to go. West Florence up 21-12. Here we go. 5 wide for Anderson. He's going to send Collins in motion again. This time he's going to fake it to him and look to throw. And this time it's intercepted. He forced it to Collins. And it's Tamari Eccles on an interception. He's going down the middle of the field. 25-20, 15, 10, 5. Tristan Collins isn't going to catch him. Touchdown, Tigers.
Wow, wow, wow. That is not what West Florence wanted to see. Oh, goodness gracious. That went backwards for their plan. That was an ill-advised throw. He was spinning around when he decided to throw that ball, James. That's a place where you just got to go down with the ball.
Yeah,
That was a big, big mistake by
It was a design
Anderson.
quarterback roll out there. They kind of faked it to Collins at first, and then he wanted to roll out. No blocking for Anderson, and he just wanted to force it to his first read there. And Tamari Eccles, he already saw the play before that timeout right there, so he knew where it was going.
Yeah, and I mean, that throw was, he was spinning around. I don't even know why he threw the ball. He had a placard on him. I get it. You're in the live of, the heat of the game and everything, but as a quarterback, you've been trained to go down with that one.
And Tamari Eccles, what a game he's got so far. A touchdown on one end and on the defensive side as well. Now the Tigers looking to go for 2. Eccles stays in at quarterback, takes the direct snap, goes left, has a block, powering forward. Touchdown, 2 points for the Tigers.
That's a surprise change right there. That just changed the momentum of this game big time. Could have been down 28-12 or 27-12. Now, game is now 21-20. More than likely, this will be the halftime score. I'm not positive, but the way West Florence's offense is, I don't think they'll score within 48 seconds.
I don't think
unless
Coach
they have
Wilkes wants to see his offense do any more this
Not
half.
when it's like that. No, that was just an errant throw. He should not have thrown that ball.
That was the worst possible thing that could have happened for the Knights right there.
Change the momentum in this game big time. Now, when you're at halftime, if you're Wilson, you're like, oh, we're in this game. We can compete with this 5A team, and we're here to stop them.
From going to 3rd and 2, right here at the 30-yard line, to 4th and 2, to 4th and 7, and then you have this timeout battle, and then you throw a pick 6. It's just got to be demoralizing when you could have been up 2 scores before the half.
Yeah, the way your offense was moving the ball and everything, to put yourself in a position by getting a penalty, West Florence, if you want to shoot yourself in the foot, that will cost you all night, because the way you're moving right now, you can methodically move down over and over against Wilson. Second half adjustments may change that, though.
The Wilson fan base is hyped up after that pick 6. Kick is underway here with 48 seconds to go, and that'll be to the right sideline, and it'll go out of bounds at the 30-yard line. No chance at a return there. So good field position if the Knights do want to try anything with 48 seconds to go here in this first half.
Yeah, they're getting the ball at the 35-yard line, so we're going to see if they can do anything with it or if they're even going to try. I don't think we'll see a kneel down. I think he will try. I just don't see him trying to pass the ball at this point that far. I know he's not deep in his own area, but after that shock and after that kind of throw, I don't think you're throwing the ball again.
It looks like instead of taking the field position, I believe Coach Wilkes has decided to push Wilson back and re-kick the football. No, there was a penalty on a procedure penalty. Pardon me, the referee just signaled a false start for the Tigers, which backs him up to the 35-yard line and will re-kick it.
We'll see if this decision pays off, because they would have had the ball at the 35-yard line.
I suppose since it was a false start before the play, technically, I guess you can't really decline something like that, I suppose. But the technicalities of the penalty.
Yeah, if they stop, they're supposed to stop it before, though. But
at the 35 now, from right to left, Wilson will kick it off. And again, it'll go right to that same spot, this time inbounds. He'll field it right there at the 30-yard line, weaving inside at the 35, and he'll be brought down shy of the 40-yard line. I believe that was Cooper Cray, the tight end, who was able to retrieve that one.
I can eat my words a little bit. It was about a 3-yard gain from doing it, but hey, it's a 3-yard gain. That matters.
For sure. A Tiger is slow to get up on that far West Florence sideline, but he looks to be okay as he's walking back under his own power.
Yeah, the gold pants actually made me think it was a flag over there on the ground for a second. I was like, another penalty flag. But no, not this time, guys.
43 seconds to go now. Knights up one, 21-20 here, with just under a minute in this first half of action. Are the Knights a little gun shy after that pick six?
Yeah, I can guarantee you're not going to throw the ball right now. If they do, I will be 100% surprised, James.
Anderson in the gun at the 39, give up the middle. Jeremiah Bryant on that left side breaks a man miss down the, makes two more miss as he bursts free across the midfield line to the 49-yard line.
He was able to get out of bounds and stop the clock too. I think they're down to one timeout, West Florence.
It appears so, yes. No, there is 0 timeouts
Okay.
for West Florence, 1 timeout left for Wilson.
Thank you. I knew they had used 2. And now we know they used 3.
Right at the 50-yard line is where they mark Jeremiah Bryant out of bounds at. 37 seconds to go. Anderson makes the call to his offensive line. Handoff up the middle of the field to Bryant, making 2 men miss in the backfield and bursting free, powering through a Tiger right at the first down marker. He'll have it out of bounds as well, but a flag is down.
Yeah, he is a beast, and it takes like 4 of their guys to stop him. I mean, he was inside and decided, hey, I'm going to go out of bounds so I can stop the clock, and he drugged them 5 yards out of bounds. I know there's a penalty, but still.
I believe they're going to mark it as a holding on the Knights, so that will mark them back quite a bit here. It's from the spot of the penalty. Yes, they'll mark them back almost a full 10 yards there. Give them about a loss of 8 on the penalty. 1st and 18 now for the Knights. 28 seconds to go here in this first half of action. Out of the gun, Anderson now. 2 wide receivers, 2 tight ends. Handoff up the middle. Tristan Collins has got it. Weaving left side. Drug out of bounds after a gain of 3, and another flag flies.
I thought I saw one fly. I didn't see where it landed.
It landed, I believe, right at the 40-yard line,
Yeah.
just under the 4 and 40.
I know I saw something go up in the air as well.
22 seconds after, about 6 seconds ran off the clock after that last play here. We'll see what the penalty is on in the area of holding again for the Knights.
I'm not sure. I'm trying to see. I got the binoculars out, James, but I cannot tell.
Deliberating on that far West Florence sideline.
I do see the flag, though. It's right there on the 4. See if I can tell you what they're calling.
A lot of confusion so far tonight.
Yeah, I know both teams, by looking at it, they're both got their hands like, what is going on?
Still deliberating so far.
I mean,
And if this is against the Knights again, this creates an interesting situation with a timeout for Wilson. You got to be careful if you're West Florence to keep running out of bounds.
yes.
It is another hold on the Knights. And a penalty out of bounds, a late hit out of bounds on the Tigers as well, as they had a late hit as he drug them out of bounds. So offsetting penalties.
If it's after the play, they're going to move it.
Right.
Up
Okay,
5.
so yes.
No, it was not after the play.
Now they moved it forward.
Did they?
Yep, they moved it forward, so it'll be now 2nd down and 14 now instead of like the 2nd and 19. So they'll add 5. So 15-yard penalty against the Tigers, 10-yard penalty against the Knights. You net 5.
Yep.
It is now 1st down, though, after the unsportsmanlike penalty out of bounds, or the late hit out of bounds. So 1st down and 14 for the Knights. 22 seconds to go here. Collins will keep it going left side, trying to find running room. He'll get back to the original line of scrimmage, only a gain of 2. And I believe the Knights are content to take it to half there.
Yeah, it looks like the score is going to be 21-20 going into the half. West Florence will get the ball first. They are doing another play,
One
James.
more play for the Knights as they do drop back to throw here. Anderson throws down the left sideline, and the ball will fly over the head of the intended receiver. Incomplete. So, yes, Chuck, the final from this first half, not the final, but the first half score, 21 West Florence, 20 Wilson. What a game we have on our hands here, my friend. What a rivalry.
Yeah, West Florence will get the ball first, so we'll see what happens after this.
We'll be back after the halftime break. We'll hear from MJ for the scores out of town. We'll see you after the halftime break.
If that crack in your windshield is driving you crazy, but you don't have time to get it fixed, call Galloway Auto Glass, a mobile service company that comes to you. Owner and operator Will Floyd has over 20 years experience in auto glass repair and replacement, but the real boss is Judge, the Labrador Retriever who rides along and ensures customer satisfaction. Galloway Auto Glass always treats your vehicle like their own and will even help you file your insurance claim. Call Galloway Auto Glass at 843-332-7575 or 664-9918, serving Florence, Darlington, Hartsville, and surrounding areas.
Metal roof and wall siding is available locally at Adams Metal Building Supply, a 40-year-old company offering metal building supplies for your home, farm, and recreation projects. From residential to commercial, they have metal panels in a variety of colors and profiles, plus metal trims for a clean, finished look. They carry vinyl back insulation in several inch sizes and have red iron galvanized C's, channels, Z's, and angles. Adams Metal Building Supply. Call Heather today at 843-669-6399.
For decades, Stoudenmeyer Dowling Funeral Home in Florence has been there for our community to help them heal after a loss with dignified and memorable funeral services. When you choose Stoudenmeyer Dowling Funeral Home, you're choosing a legacy of trust when it comes to caring for both those who have gone and the family and friends they left behind. Everyone grieves differently, but Stoudenmeyer Dowling Funeral Home is committed to helping you through it. They're always available to you by phone, email, Facebook, and their website at stoudenmeyerdowling.com.
Metal roof and wall siding is available locally at Adams Metal Building Supply, a 40-year-old company offering metal building supplies for your home, farm, and recreation projects. Adams Metal Building Supply can order walk-through metal door kits and overhead doors, as well as bolt-up metal buildings in 4 different sizes for the DIY homeowner. Adams Metal Building Supply, where quality meets durability. Call Heather today at 843-669-6399 or toll free at 1-888-766-0043.
And it's Matt Jordan back here in the ESPN Radio 96.3 FM studio, where West Florence holds a 21-20 lead as they go into halftime. Lamar on top of Lake City, 29-28. It's Loris on top of North Myrtle Beach, 28-7. South Florence just scored again, 43-7 over Fort Dorchester. Hartsville on top of Rock Hill, 6-0. Aner on top of Green Sea Floyd's, it is 12-6. Mullins 8, Latta nothing. Stratford all over Socastee, 28-0. At halftime, Cheraw leading Darlington 7-0. St. James on top of Wando by the score 14-0. Irmo doubling up Carolina Forest right now, 28-14. Sumter on top of Crestwood, 22-0. In college, it's Indiana all over Indiana State, 59-0. Syracuse leading Colgate, 38-3. And Houston on top of Colorado, 13-0. At the top of the hour, Kansas State will take on Arizona. Once again, your score at the half, West Florence 21, Wilson 20.
If that crack in your windshield is driving you crazy, but you don't have time to get it fixed, call Galloway Auto Glass, a mobile service company that comes to you. Owner and operator Will Floyd has over 20 years experience in auto glass repair and replacement, but the real boss is Judge, the Labrador Retriever who rides along and ensures customer satisfaction. Galloway Auto Glass always treats your vehicle like their own and will even help you file your insurance claim. Call Galloway Auto Glass at 843-332-7575 or 664-9918, serving Florence, Darlington, Hartsville, and surrounding areas.
For decades, Stoudenmeyer Dowling Funeral Home in Florence has been there for our community to help them heal after a loss with dignified and memorable funeral services. When you choose Stoudenmeyer Dowling Funeral Home, you're choosing a legacy of trust when it comes to caring for both those who have gone and the family and friends they left behind. Everyone grieves differently, but Stoudenmeyer Dowling Funeral Home is committed to helping you through it. They're always available to you by phone, email, Facebook, and their website at stoudenmeyerdowling.com.
Football season is just ahead, so time to make a trip to Rivals, the store divided. Your go-to place for all things Clemson or Carolina. Get all your fall fashions at Rivals. It's wall-to-wall with the latest Clemson or Carolina gear, including dresses, shirts, shorts, shoes, and hats. And while you're there, gear up for your tailgating parties too, including tents, tables, chairs, coolers, and grills. Plus, check out their fan cave section. It's full of metal and wooden signs. At Rivals, a store divided.
Metal roof and wall siding is available locally at Adams Metal Building Supply, a 40-year-old company offering metal building supplies for your home, farm, and recreation projects. Adams Metal Building Supply can order walk-through metal door kits and overhead doors, as well as bolt-up metal buildings in 4 different sizes for the DIY homeowner. Adams Metal Building Supply, where quality meets durability. Call Heather today at 843-669-6399 or toll free at 1-888-766-0043.
This is the college football preview from the Sports Talk Media Network. Phil Kornblut along with Chris Bergen. Well, we got SEC and ACC action beginning this weekend for South Carolina and Clemson, respectively. Bergie, let's begin with the Gamecocks. They're at home for a night game against Vanderbilt. Normally, over the decades, you take this game for granted if you're South Carolina. The Gamecocks have won 16 in a row. They're favored in this one, but nobody is taking this one for granted.
Yeah, according to ESPN, they've got a 65% chance to beat Vanderbilt. So at least folks outside think it should be another USC win. But Phil, to me, and we'll talk more about this with Clemson as well, I think this is put up or shut up week for both of them because their offenses have just not been very good at all. Dismal might be a better word to describe both of them. I thought Ellis Johnson earlier this week on Sports Talk was outstanding with his breakdown. Doesn't think Lenore Sellers is quite ready to go to the NFL because he's not good enough as a passer. Lenore Sellers evidently has gone to Mike Shula to say, hey, let me run the football a little bit more. Let me get outside and create. And I think that's the route they need to go because when he does that, he's much more dynamic than what we've seen. And the Gamecocks have got to get their offense going because Vanderbilt is not a team that the defense is going to be able to hold to 7 or 3 points. They're going to have to score some points to beat these guys.
I wonder if South Carolina's just been holding back for the first couple of games before they got to SEC play. And now we're going to see the full package.
Well, maybe that's the case. We always hear that early in the season. You go vanilla because you don't want to give away too much. Well, they had to open up the year with a team that could have beaten them, didn't. So. Maybe they've held some stuff back, and we'll get to see it on Saturday. Shane Beamer's always been pretty good as the season goes along. His teams get better and better and better. It better start in week 3.
All right, same thing for Clemson as they go to Georgia Tech, a favorite, a team the Tigers have owned in recent years, but a better Georgia Tech team, a very good Georgia Tech team, will be waiting. It's a white out. They got a big concert prior to the game. Georgia Tech folks are jacked up. All the students picked up their tickets, so the place is going to be packed, and Clemson needs to pack its offense.
Well, and had I told you, Phil, and wouldn't giving you any sort of point of reference here, I said Cade Klubnik had 2 touchdown passes and 2 interceptions. You would think, okay, that was against LSU, understandable. That's where he is now. He's got to find a way, much like Lenore Sellers, they've got to find a way to jumpstart their offense, and I never would have thought that going into the season. You look at everything that Clemson had coming back offensively, thought they would be a juggernaut. Their defense has been as good as advertised, but their offense is struggling, and the question is, can they find somebody in the wide receiving corps to help out while Antonio Williams is dealing with his injury to get back? Dabo Sweeney's talked about how big a miss that has been for them in terms of not having him in the lineup. Hopefully he may get back. We'll find out as the week progresses, certainly heading up to the game, whether or not he'll be able to play on Saturday because he's a key cog, and they certainly have missed him thus far, and they can't run the football either, and that's probably the biggest not necessarily surprised because we were curious how the transition from wide receiver to running back would go for Adam Randall, but that has certainly hampered this offense. There's no question.
And just like South Carolina, the Clemson defense is going to face a quarterback who's very, very talented and very dangerous.
Yes, and a good running game all the way around with Jamal Haynes in the backfield to go along with Haynes King, as you pointed out. Haynes already has 157 yards and 2 touchdowns on 25 carries. So Georgia Tech is going to come out, try and be physical. That's what Brent Key wants to see from his team. He wants them to be physical, and Clemson's going to get hit in the face. The question is, can they punch back?
And yet another team dealing with offensive woes through 2 games, Coastal Carolina, home to East Carolina.
And it's got to stop this weekend because this is an East Carolina team that put up over 400 yards of total offense against NC State in a narrow loss. They blew out Campbell last week, and it was the 5th game under their new head coach that they have rolled up over 500 yards of total offense. They've got a very dynamic offense. One of the guys that South Carolina State, in the state fans will recognize is Yannick Smith, the wide receiver out of Somerville. He's been terrific for them. They've got a very good quarterback. They've got a solid running game, and their defense isn't bad either. Coastal cannot continue to struggle offensively and certainly cannot turn the ball over at the rate they have right now. The Chanticleer's 130th nationally in turnover margin. That has got to improve. Tim Beck understands it. The team understands it. We'll find out Saturday night under the lights at Brooks Stadium if they can change and turn things around.
All right, other football around the state involving South Carolina teams. Furman, coming off that overtime home loss to Presbyterian, goes to Campbell. Wofford, an 0-2 start for the Terriers. They'll be at Mercer. Presbyterian riding high at 2-0. They'll be home to take on Erskine. Home opener for the Blue Hose. I would expect a lot of people there to welcome that PC team with that start. South Carolina State back at home to take on Bethune-Cookman, coming off their loss at South Carolina. Charleston Southern, looking for its first win, will be home to Lindenwood. Newberry, a winner last week, home to take on Point, while the Citadel looks to make it 2 in a row on the road after a win at Sanford. Bulldogs play at Gardner-Webb. North Greenville will be home for its home opener against Barton after a loss last week at Delta State. Benedict, coming off an open week, plays at Central State. The Tigers are 1-0. Allen, which is 0-2, will be home to take on Lane. And Anderson, off to a 2-0 start, will entertain Tusculum. That'll do it for the college football preview. For Chris Bergen, this is Phil Kornblut on the Sports Talk Media Network.
If that crack in your windshield is driving you crazy, but you don't have time to get it fixed, call Galloway Auto Glass, a mobile service company that comes to you. Owner and operator Will Floyd has over 20 years experience in auto glass repair and replacement, but the real boss is Judge, the Labrador Retriever who rides along and ensures customer satisfaction. Galloway Auto Glass always treats your vehicle like their own and will even help you file your insurance claim. Call Galloway Auto Glass at 843-332-7575 or 664-9918, serving Florence, Darlington, Hartsville, and surrounding areas.
For decades, Staudenmeyer Dowling Funeral Home in Florence has been there for our community to help them heal after a loss with dignified and memorable funeral services. When you choose Staudenmeyer Dowling Funeral Home, you're choosing a legacy of trust when it comes to caring for both those who have gone and the family and friends they left behind. Everyone grieves differently, but Staudenmeyer Dowling Funeral Home is committed to helping you through it. They're always available to you by phone, email, Facebook, and their website at StaudenmeyerDowling.com.
From the Florence Toyota Studios, this is WOLH Florence, 96.3 ESPN Radio, the worldwide leader in sports.
Coming up after the game, it's the South Carolina High School Scoreboard Show on 96.3 ESPN Radio.
Welcome back to the ESPN 96.3 high school football game of the week here in the PD, as a Florence rivalry has turned out to be what we thought it could be, Chuck. It is a close, hard-fought game that's come down to a couple of key plays, especially in the special teams department. West Florence entering this the second half up 21-20 on the home team Tigers. What are your initial thoughts on this first half?
I thought this could have ended up being more of a I don't want to say blowout, but West Florence had the opportunity to go up big the way they've been running the ball, and then they ended up shooting themselves in the foot late in the second quarter, and then did a disastrous play to have them come back, throw an interception, which turned into a pick six by Eccles. Big decision now for them to me, I don't know that West Florence is going to throw the ball too much again tonight. They're going to have to run the ball like they were and continue to just dominate Wilson's defense. That's what I think is going to be the key for them to win.
You got to think there were two different speeches going on in those locker rooms right there. For Coach Wilson, you're saying to your team, you were this close to being out of it, but you now have this great chance to really make this a four-quarter fight against a team that expected to come in here and put their foot down on their neck, and they were about, once again, this close to doing it again for Coach Wilkes. Two different messages to their team. What do you think is going to be, or what do you think for Coach Wilkes was this message to this team in the second half?
Coach Wilkes was like, guys, we had the chance to dominate, and instead we ended up shooting ourselves in the foot by throwing flag or getting penalties, which cost them to move back. That's been the main detriment to me as West Florence themselves so far against Wilson from what I've seen.
Yep.
However, Wilson just has an explosive offense whenever they are passing the ball. We're going to see if they continue to try to run the ball or if they go to more of a passing game in this second half. To me, that would be the key for Wilson to win, would be to use that passing game more.
Absolutely. They had a couple of big plays on the special teams on the defensive end to keep them in this football game. You got to think their offense has got to kind of pick up the slack a little bit. We mentioned so many names. Mick White, we've talked about him a little bit. Bethea's obviously been involved, but we really haven't talked about Wilson Jr. or Mack very often so far. So a lot to look forward to in the first half offense for the Tiger, or the second half offense, if they want to try to keep this game competitive. So if you're Coach Brian Wilson, though, you know, this is a game that you were not favored to win at the beginning of the season. You're coming off a big upswing and beating Dillon last week. You think maybe, you know, you don't quite get up for this game, but it's a rivalry game, and they're right in it with a big 5A school like West Florence.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely are in this game, especially after the first half. And the way they performed offensively, they can stay in it. It's just if they can defensively stay in it. We're going to find out tonight. It's been a great game, to be honest with you, James. It's been a fun game. I have no complaints so far about this game. For us, we get to watch great games every week, and this one is really a good game for us.
100%. We have been very blessed with some fantastic matchups, and just truly it's been a great season so far. Such great love from all the fans that we've spoken with. They're also excited about football and the schools back together in the community. It's been great to see from Florence after just a really rough week overall for our nation. It's so nice to have this to come at the end of the week and to us to come together as a city, as a state, as a country, and to just watch good, clean competition between hardworking young men.
Yeah, I mean, this is the most innocent form of football that we're going to see. To me, organized football, and what I mean by that is more of a high school. Of course, there's recreational, but there's nothing like the family atmosphere that comes with the team, because not only are there players out there here that have their parents here, there are still people here that graduated probably here in 1976 to come and watch these games. This is just a big community thing where a lot of people show up. I mean, it's the same thing for South Florence and West Florence as well. They have
Absolutely.
people that have been watching these games for
You see
40,
the West Florence
50
sideline
years.
over there, man. They got a good crowd over there as well. So the Knights faithful have come to support their guys as well. So
Yeah, they don't have too far to go, so it's a little easier
Absolutely.
than what we saw when that Northwestern came to last week to South Florence. That was from Rock Hill.
That was
They
quite
had a pretty
impressive.
good. They had a pretty good crowd here. So yeah, good atmosphere all together. Good football. It's Friday night high school football. What it's belonged for. That's what Friday nights are for. Not for college football. Not for NFL football, which is about to start happening some, unfortunately.
Right.
I hope they nip that a little bit and make sure that they always keep Friday nights for high school football.
it has been so enjoyable so far this season. We are looking forward to a fantastic second half of action here as the teams get ready to get the kickoff underway. We'll take one quick step aside, and we'll be back with that second half kickoff after this short break.
Football season is just ahead, so time to make a trip to Rivals, the store divided, your go-to place for all things Clemson or Carolina. Get all your fall fashions at Rivals. It's wall-to-wall with the latest Clemson or Carolina gear, including dresses, shirts, shorts, shoes, and hats. And while you're there, gear up for your tailgating parties too, including tents, tables, chairs, coolers, and grills. Plus, check out their fan cave section. It's full of metal and wooden signs. At Rivals, the store divided. More live action. It's the high school football game of the week on 96.3 ESPN Radio.
Welcome back to the high school football game of the week here on 96.3 ESPN Radio. Got a quick score update from the guys back in the studio. Fort Dorchester down now 49-0 over South Florence in a get-back game for the Bruins. You knew they were going to, really change their attitude after that tough loss last week to Northwestern, and the Bruins showing that they still are that powerhouse in this region.
Yeah, I mean, that's another 5A team that they're taking on. Fort Dorchester was the fourth in a row they've taken on. Marley doesn't play with that. We're getting ready to kick off this second half right now. I'm going to let James take over this kickoff.
Wilson will kick the ball off to start the second half of play from the 40-yard line, going right to left here. Malachi Hall and Jeremiah Bryant back deep to field this kickoff. Toe meets leather in the second half is underway as this ball bounces at the 25-yard line down that sideline, but stays in bounds. He's able to field it, but not going very far as the Tigers swarm, and will drag him back, and they'll stop his progress right at the 24-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, nice coverage by the Wilson special teams. It's a little different right now because they don't have that kicker that knocks it all the way down to the 5-yard. So it's going to be very difficult for them to ever stop anybody inside the 20. But this is 24, 25-yard line. Big stop for them.
This really is some of the worst field position we've seen to start the games so far tonight. Tristan Collins in the empty backfield set. As he'll clap his hands to try to draw the Tigers offside. Both teams check to the sideline here to start this second half of play. Collins this time takes the snap, and he'll go right up the middle of the field, but the Tigers all over it. Great penetration that time. Brought down immediately in the backfield. I believe that was number 40, Antonio Wright, in the backfield for the tackle.
Yeah, that was nice. It's tackle for a loss. Maybe they did something at halftime to make some adjustments because that is one of the better plays that they've had on defense against West Florence's run attack all night.
Mark it off for a loss of a yard. Second down and 11 now from the 24-yard line. 3 wide receivers set. This is the Knights keeping a passing look formation, but they probably will run orbit formation here as they're going to sling it out in the backfield, similar to the Wilson play, and a similar result. Ooh. Tackled in the backfield. A great hit there by number 18. Jaden Boston read that swing pass all the way and decked him in the backfield.
Yeah, he loaded up on him and smacked him to the next street, I believe is what they call that sometimes, because he hit him really, really hard, James. Nice tackle. This is what Wilson needed, and so far, whatever they've done at halftime is helping out.
Another loss, this time of 3 yards. It'll be 3rd down and 14 now for the Knights. A great start here if the Tigers can get them off the field. In motion, Cray. Back inside looking to see what the defense will do. Anderson now rolls to his left to throw. He's got a man in the flat, but the Tigers rally right at the line of scrimmage and will bring him down.
Yeah, I'm surprised with that kind of throw, with it being such a short throw, that they would even do it. They should have just ran the ball at that point, especially with the way they've been passing the ball all night. That didn't look like a play that was designed to try to make a first down at all.
Jeremiah Bryant was the man to catch the football, but no running room that time as the Knights, this time in their first true punting formation here, trying to get a number for their kicker. It is not Chase Anderson this time. Another high snap and a kick off the side of his foot, not going very far. It'll bounce at the 35, and it'll take a West Florence hop to the 46-yard line.
That was the tight end that actually kicked that ball, Cooper Cray, number 11.
I believe we saw him punt a little bit in that opener against South Florence there. Not much success as the Tigers, great starting field position to start this first drive of the second half in Knights territory.
Yeah, I knew West Florence's punting situation was not great, and that's why we talked about how that besides offense and defense, the other thing that can win you games is special teams.
Hand off, McWhite going right side, and he's got good yardage as he gets to the 40-yard line there. That'll be a gain of about 6 yards for the Tigers.
All right, great field position, way to start the second half. If Wilson scores right here, the momentum has totally changed over to Wilson's side. And so far it has, because West Florence did not have a good drive at all.
Tristan Howard, the quarterback to start this second half. We saw a little bit of both of them, but Tristan Howard's been the main man, not in the red zone. This time it's a jet sweep to Bethea going left side, but the Knights have it bottled up. He will barely get back to the line of scrimmage there. It'll be 3rd down and 5.
Yeah, that was a big number 99 Mitchelltree, Chris Mitchelltree from West Florence. Good tackle, good solid tackle. Made sure there was no any kind of yak after the play. He tackled him immediately. Good job, guys.
3rd down, and they'll mark it at 6 yards for the Tigers here. Definitely you could pass or run in this situation, but it looks like Howard will drop back in a 5-wide set. Empty backfield for the Tigers. He will look to throw. He's got a clean pocket, steps up, and looks to run immediately at the 40-yard line, going out of bounds, and he will not get there. Gain of about 3 yards for Tristan Howard, and a good stop by the the Knights.
Yeah, that looked like it was a quarterback draw is what it was, and now they've got 3 yards. Let's see if they go for it on 4th down, James. They've got, looks like 4th and 3, 4th and 4.
Number 9, Tamari Eccles has checked into the football game here. No punt look here for the Tigers unless they switch this up. It is a heavy set with 2 tight ends, 3 tight ends now motioned into right to the left side, and Tamari Eccles will lead the way, breaks a tackle, and he'll power forward. What a play by the backup quarterback. First down, Tigers, as he crosses the 35-yard line.
I mean, I realize you can't use him every time, and that's the reason that you have a throwing-style quarterback. But as far as anybody being able to touch Eccles, Eccles is a little bit more of a, I'd say, a man out here compared to most of them. He's able to run over these guys, no problem.
Staying in their same play, Eccles goes left sideline, dragging defenders close to the 20-yard line. I think we'll see where they mark him at. It'll be close to a first down.
Yeah,
they'll mark him probably about a yard or 2 shy, 2nd and 2 now.
He's a beast to bring down, and they're having trouble getting to him. I mean, he's drugged them around a couple times, and he has been the superstar of the game so far, with defensively and offensively.
They marked him at the 23-yard line. Eccles still in there in that heavy set. So far it's worked. The Knights haven't been able to adjust. Still heavy set to the left side as well.
I mean, with the way he's running the ball, I mean, nobody's stopping him. He's getting 8 yards.
We got a stoppage here from the referees. I'm not sure what they're doing here, as they're going to go ahead and mark him as a first down. They're going to give him the yardage for the first down now. And now Howard, I believe, no, it is still Eccles. They go right side now as they switch the formation, and Eccles running right, balling off of Knights, and he'll gain about 4 yards there.
Yeah, they're sticking with him running the ball right now, James, and I don't know. There they go. It looks like they're about to make a change possibly, but the way he's been running the ball, I don't know.
Yeah, they're going to go ahead and give the big man a breather there as Tristan Howard now enters the game in at quarterback. 2nd down and 7 now for the Tiger offense as they have crossed into the red zone at the 19-yard line.
I wouldn't be surprised to see a pass play right here.
Out of the gun, Howard will keep it on a fake to McWhite. He's going to go up the middle of the field again, dragging Knights. Both the quarterbacks finding good ground game here as they're going to have it inside the 10-yard line. 1st and goal for the Wilson Tigers.
Yeah, that surprised me because Collins is not known to be a running style quarterback. That was a very, very good run for him from what I've seen in the past of him as well. We've watched him. This is our 2nd season, James, and that was nice.
They will not sub Eccles back in. Howard still in at quarterback. McWhite is the back. They send number 25, Cedric Bartell, in motion to the right, and he'll have McWhite have him lead the way. McWhite bouncing off a Knight, going to the sideline as he tries to tiptoe inbounds. He will gain about 6 to 7 yards there. He'll have it close to that line. It'll be 2nd down and goal from about the 3.
He almost, if you remember the movie with Adam Sandler where he ended up going around and blocking, that's what that play looked like. He hit somebody, they bounced him outside, he came back inside, they bounced him out again, he came back one more time, and they bounced him outside.
Here
Bobby
comes
Boucher.
That heavy set. Oh, yeah, the water boy, my friend.
Yes.
Eccles back in at quarterback. Heavy set to the right side of the field now as they motion in 3 tight ends. Eccles will go that way. He had a man in front of him that didn't get the right blocking assignment, and the Knights were all over it. They'll stop him in the backfield. Maybe he gained a yard, or maybe he got back to the line to gain there. 3rd down and 2 from the 2-yard line.
What a strong tackle. He grabbed him. It looked like almost a face mask from up here, but it was not. He must have grabbed him by both shoulder pads and pulled him straight down. Strong tackle.
We'll see what the personnel is here for the Tigers. As now Eccles, I believe, goes under center. Quarterback sneak, the little tush push up the middle of the field. He'll fall into the end zone, but I believe the referee is going to mark his forward progress down short of the line to gain. And then he'll bring up 4th down.
And you are correct, James. I saw the referee come in. He was already whistling to dead. They didn't give a lot of time on that tush push. They kind of stopped that pretty quick.
Here we go again. The Tigers push on 4th down. Do they get in? No signal from the line judges yet. It looks like he did get in. They signal touchdown for the Tigers. Tamari Eccles, his 3rd touchdown of the game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at Eccles now. Eccles is, he's a strong dude. He's even walking back with a little bit of extra emphasis in his happiness right now after scoring his 3rd touchdown.
The Tigers take the lead with 4:31 to go here in this 3rd quarter of action. 21-26 now the score in favor of the Tigers. Extra point pending here. Jalen Cockfield, the kicker, on to make it a 6-point lead for the Tigers.
It was whistled dead. I could hear by the referee, so I'm not sure what happened just now, but they're going to have to re-kick, even though it did go through the uprights.
I believe there was a substitution here late or something along those lines, but all set now for Jalen Cockfield. Snaps down, kick is on the way, a low line driver, but this time it has the airtime. It is good. The Tigers up 6. What a comeback in the Tiger Den here at Wilson Football Stadium is getting loud.
And you can see the momentum kicking on the Wilson side. These guys are pumped up. They're jumping, coming out of the off the field, celebrating, just excited. You could tell. Even the kicker just did. He was so happy about that 1 point. It was unreal. He's come back jumping over here. It's good to see the enthusiasm of these young football players, and just fun to watch football.
A stark contrast from last year for the Tigers for sure. Brian Wilson has injected a lot of life into this program.
Yeah, they're definitely not the team they were last year.
Kicking off now is number 23 for the Tigers. No name on the roster here, unfortunately. From right to left, he'll put his foot into it, and is another short kick. It'll go directly out of bounds, close to the 35-yard line. And I believe they're just content with giving the Knights good field position and no return.
Yeah, it looks like that's their strategy right now with their kicking game, which is, once again, I know I harped on it, but special teams. I knew this stuff was going to affect the game, and it is.
And it looks like Coach
another
Wilkes
penalty
is. There's going to be a penalty.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say another
kick,
penalty.
But once again, though, the Tigers have a procedure penalty, a false start on the kickoff. So Coach Wilkes says back him up 5 like we did last time and kick it again.
Yeah, this is that chess play we were talking about. What he's doing is saying, hey, you're going to have to kick it to me. You can keep trying to do this thing out of bounds, but I'm going to make you kick it over and over.
Well, they can't even if they kick it out of bounds, they still have to, with this false start penalty.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. If they keep doing it, eventually he's going to make them kick it into the field, because they're going to get better field position if they try it here.
Now from the 35-yard line. Kick is away this time, still trailing to that sideline, out of bounds, and a flag will fly at the 15-yard line.
I believe he's going to push him back another 5 yards and make him kick again. Let's see if we're right. I think that's what his strategy is right now, James. Appears to be, too. Looks like they're lining it back up again. This is a smart play by Coach Wilkes. He wants his players to touch the ball. He doesn't want them just kicking that ball out of bounds.
The procedure is definitely not a false start. It is definitely for the kick out of bounds every time. So,
yeah,
Coach Wilkes he doesn't want the field position. He wants them to kick it in bounds to his guys.
And eventually this is going to give him the field position. You keep doing this and going out of bounds with the ball,
right,
you're going to be kicking it from your 10-yard line. And they're at the 30 now kicking.
At their own 30. The Knights return men are at their own 20 to 25-yard line. Corey Patterson back there. Can't see the other one at the moment. We'll see. They'll kick it from the left hash now. Back to that same corner, and it gets past this man. That is number 25, Patterson. This time he will try to return it across the 20-yard line, but a horde of Tigers will surround him and will bring him down at the 25.
Well, Coach Wilkes' idea did not work out very well this particular time, because that ball got past the player, didn't go out of bounds, and they lost major yardage. They could have been at the 40-yard line after the second penalty came through. Instead, they're now at their 25-yard line. So they lost 15 yards by not accepting that penalty. 10 yards if you want to count the first one that he didn't accept.
I'm sure Coach Wilkes probably is willing to take a gamble like that and the chance to return or good field position. But the Tigers able to redeem themselves there and pin them back for decent defensive field position. Anderson into the gun. Sends his man Patterson to the left. He'll give it up the middle of the field, but no blocking, and he'll be stuffed right at the line to gain. Right at the line of scrimmage, no gain. That was Jeremiah Bryant meeting a stone wall.
Wilson did some halftime adjustments for what we're seeing in this second half, because West Florence has not been able to move the ball hardly at all in this second half. I know they've only had one drive. Here's their second drive, but they haven't gotten any yardage.
They gave him a slight push of 2 yards there, but not much. Anderson claps his hands, trying to draw the defense offside, and somebody jumped. We'll see what the call is. encroachment on the Tigers. That'll give them a free 5 for the Knights.
Yeah, on the defensive side, West Florence needs to be. I mean, Wilson needs to be a little bit more disciplined. One thing you do know, and if you're watching this game, they're not going to throw the ball that often. So when he's doing that, just wait because it's going to be a run.
Definitely running down in distance. 2nd down and 2 now after the penalty from the 33-yard line for the Knights. 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go here in this third quarter of action. Collins with the carry going left side. Not much running room again as the Tigers meet him close to the line of scrimmage. We'll see where they mark his forward progress at. They are going to mark him short. It'll be 3rd and 1.
I'm very impressed with how they're playing so far in this second half. Even with that penalty, they were still able to stop him short. Let's see if they can come in and get this 3rd down stop and see if they can make West Florence possibly punt, because in this field position, if Wilkes does want to go for it, if it's on 4th down, that's a huge gamble with taking this chance on with this game the way it's going.
Heavy formation for the Knights this time. Offensive lineman in the backfield as well as a tight end with Tristan Collins. As he takes the direct snap looking to go left, he'll try to go right, and he'll find the running room. He'll gain about 3 or 4, and that's a Knights 1st down.
Yeah, and if you're West Florence, you really, really needed that. You've got to get the momentum back on your side. That was Tristan Collins, I mean, he did that on his own, to be honest with you. He picked up the extra yardage.
He's a very patient runner, man.
Yep. 1st down.
Yep. 1st down. It'll be the 36-yard line for the Knights. They stay in this heavy set. I believe now Jeremiah Bryant in the backfield this time. He will take the direct snap going left-hand side, slung forward, maybe got 3 to the 40-yard line.
Yeah, I couldn't see who made the tackle. But with that said, they're really stopping West Florence a lot better than they have the whole game.
2 minutes to go now here in this third quarter of action as the Wilson Tigers are up 27-21 over the West Florence Knights here. And a great comeback so far for the Tigers. Their work's not done yet, but definitely a different-looking team so far here in the second half.
Yeah, now you're looking, if you're West Florence, you're like, what happened in the first half? We got to try to we got to try to replicate that in the second half, and they're not doing it yet until this play.
Colin fakes the pitch, and he'll go right up the middle of the field, able to shift his way through and dragging the Tigers across the midfield line. He'll be marked down close to the 40-yard line. Great play design there.
And that's more what West Florence has been used to in this game, is being able to run at will, and that was about a 12-yard pickup by West Florence.
They mark him down. He marked his knee down at the 44 of Wilson. We have a substitution stoppage here. I believe there is either an injury or a equipment issue here, as someone for Wilson had to be taken out for a play. Clock at 1:21. Knights with the best drive so far of this second half.
And the crazy thing, it's only their second.
The second quarter's gone by fast compared to the first half.
Yeah, this third quarter is just flying by.
Jeremiah Bryant is going to stay in there looking to take this direct snap. Number 19, Caden Taylor, is in at tight end / that H-back role that they love to use to give them a little extra blocking. And now it looks like another running back comes into the game, Jawan Gamble as well. So Gamble and Bryant. Gamble will line up at wide receiver, trips to Bryant's right, and a timeout.
Yeah, this formation is something we hadn't seen very much tonight. He's been keeping receivers on all one side and nobody on the left-hand side. Just now we saw 3 receivers out there. So Wilkes is changing his look of his offense up pretty much all night tonight.
You're seeing a big change, but for Wilson so far in the second half, stopping the run. What do you think so far has led to that success here early on?
They made halftime adjustments, clearly, so it's coaching is what I would say, because the players are still the same players. You've got to tell them they're probably keeping their gaps and making sure that they know their position and what zone they're supposed to be covering and not going outside of that, because if you go outside of that, that ruins the whole defense.
Absolutely.
You have to stay in your own containment and contain the player that you're supposed to contain.
They definitely wanted to come into the second half and establish their own dominance like West Florence tried to do with Tamari Eccles. He has been all over the place so far tonight, offense and defense. I don't know if he's missed too many snaps on the defensive side of the ball tonight.
No, and he's definitely been so far on both sides. He's been the player of the game through 3 quarters. Somebody else can try to take that role, but as of right now, the guy that we're seeing, the man out here, is number 9.
He will line up at his linebacker position, much like Romello Patterson does for the Knights on the other side. First down and 10 now for the Knights here at the 45-yard line. In the gun is Anderson, who gives up the middle of the field, running into his own man and then meeting a horde of Tigers. I believe that was Jeremiah Bryant on the carry. We'll see who comes up with it at the end here. It was Bryant. He'll gain 3 there.
Yeah, I was going to say, you were right. It was Bryant. He got a little bit of yardage, though, which is a big plus because they have been getting stopped for 1 or 2. This time he did get 3 in this second half. Let's see if they can continue to run the ball up the middle. See if they can get that 5 and 8 yard gains again.
They go back to the heavy set. 3 tight ends to that right side. Give up the middle again to Bryant, but the Tigers turn him away again. Minimal yardage there, maybe a gain of 1. It'll be 3rd down and 5.
Yeah, they're tackling like they're supposed to at this point. If you're Wilson, they might be a small defensive line, but that small defensive line has decided to come out and kick tail in the second half. And we're at the end of the 3rd quarter.
We will reach the 4th quarter of action here in a 3rd quarter that went by in a blur. The Tigers take the lead. The score, Wilson 27, West Florence 21. We'll be back with your ESPN High School Football Game of the Week 4th quarter action after this.
Metal roof and wall siding is available locally at Adams Metal Building Supply, a 40-year-old company offering metal building supplies for your home, farm, and recreation projects. Adams Metal Building Supply can order walk-through metal door kits and overhead doors, as well as bolt-up metal buildings in 4 different sizes for the DIY homeowner. Adams Metal Building Supply, where quality meets durability. Call Heather today at 843-669-6399 or toll free at 1-888-766-0043.
We now return to the high school football game of the week on 96.3 ESPN Radio.
Welcome back to the ESPN Radio 96.3 High School Football Game of the Week here as we enter the 4th quarter of action in this Florence City rivalry. West Florence took the early lead in this game, but Wilson has climbed their way back. It is now 27-21 in favor of the Tigers as we enter this 4th quarter of action, Chuck.
And what I'm seeing from both of these teams right now, they're neither one of them trying to throw the ball. They're playing smash mouth football. Who can stop our players? Who can stop us from running the ball? We're going to see what happens right now, James. Take over this call for me.
The Wilson sideline getting this crowd into it here as it is a big 3rd down for their defense here at the 40-yard line. Now the Knights going right to left here. 2 tight ends in the formation for Chase Anderson. Bryant is the tailback. They send Tristan Collins in motion. They'll give it to him on a jet sweep. The Tigers are all over him, and he's sacked in the backfield, or tackled in the backfield for a huge loss of 6.
Yeah, that was Jaden Boston. He's been doing it all season long. He just came through once again big for the Wilson Tigers. Big tackle for loss. West Florence is in a deep hole if they're trying to go for it right here. So I imagine they're going to be punting.
4th down and 11 now, the down and distance here as this Wilson sideline is not giving them a break.
I am surprised that he's going to try to throw the ball with the unsuccess that they've had throwing the ball.
Knights offense staying out on the field. Chase Anderson in at quarterback. Jeremiah Bryant in the backfield. He now has trips to his right, does Anderson. Claps to the football. He's going to look to throw. Pressure in his face. He's going to roll to his right. The crowd is calling for a hold. No call. He'll throw it way down the field and out of bounds. Incomplete. And that'll be a turnover on downs in favor of the Tigers.
Yeah, I mean, good stop by the Wilson defense. This defense wasn't able to make that many stops in the first half without West Florence helping cause that. But just now, that was a surprise call for me from Coach Wilkes. You're at their 45-yard line. You've had trouble throwing the ball all night, and you go for it on 4th and 11 and give Wilson great field position.
Right. Definitely a little head scratching there. All the momentum now here on this Tiger sideline as this crowd staying on their feet to cheer on this offense with 11:08 to go as that minute went by fast. Now Tristan Howard, can he extend this lead? Fake to McWhite. He's going to keep it this time. Howard will try to run through a night. That won't get him far. He'll gain 2.
I tell you what, if I was the West Florence defense, I'd be more excited to see him running the ball than I would Eccles. Eccles is such a beast out there. I'm not saying that Collins is not, but he is not the same size in any stratosphere as
You know why there's a package specifically for Tamari Eccles when you see him on this team.
He is. He's a stud, guys.
2nd down and 7 now after the short run by Tristan Howard. Now McWhite in the backfield with him. High snap. Howard handles it. He'll give it inside McWhite, bouncing off of players. He'll go to the outside, breaks another tackle. Spin move. Oh, my goodness, Mark. Holy moly, McQuan McWhite making me lose my words, but he'll spin forward for a 1st down and a gain of 11.
My man just did 3 spins, and then when he went out of bounds, decided to give a stiff arm to the West Florence defensive player. I know it sounds funny, but I'm able to see it with these binoculars, James, and yeah, he just stiffed arm that guy straight to the ground.
I wish I had a close-up view of that. That was impressive. 1st down and 10 now at their West Florence 44-yard line. Electric play there by McQuan McWhite. He's been a little quiet here so far tonight. This time a direct snap, and Howard's on a quarterback power all the way. Tristan Howard this time showing off the running ability. He'll gain 6 yards, and that caught the Knights off guard.
Yeah. West Florence better do something pretty soon to stop this momentum that Wilson has here. This game is going to turn out to be the opposite of what they wanted, which, of course, is a win. But they had the chance in that first half. It looked like they were going to blow this game open possibly, and now they're struggling to get off the field.
2nd down. Call it 5 for the Tigers here. They're in no hurry now.
Big difference between the first half and second half so far.
Howard in the gun. 3 to his left. He'll give it to McWhite going left side, bouncing off a man. Now he'll go right. Shakes a tackler, shakes another. Still on his feet in the middle of the field, and he'll just drop to the ground, but he'll gain 6 or 7 yards pretty much by himself, and that's another Tiger 1st down.
Yeah, McWhite is just a shifty guy. He's got speed to him. He was tackled almost twice, but he's just too fast for them to pick up to him. What an individual play he just made, James, as you said.
31-yard line now for the Tigers as they are marching. Still in the gun, 3 to Howard's right with the tight end. McWhite staying in the backfield. I'm sure they'd like to continue to hand him the football with runs like that. They fake it to him, and this time Howard on a nice read will keep it, but the Knights were all over it. Great play there by both the man guarding the running back and the quarterback there, number 55, Karan Williamson with the tackle.
Yeah, nice play by West Florence's defense, and I say that because, like you said, it almost looked like the exchange was about to get stolen by a West Florence player, and then I thought he was going to get more yardage. None.
Late substitution, and I believe they almost bumped into a Wilson offensive player there, but Coach Wilkes able to call a timeout. Quite frustrated with his defensive substitution right there, though.
Yeah, I missed what exactly happened, but you just called it out. This is not going well for West Florence at this point, James. 8 minutes, 12 seconds left. Wilson's running the ball. Plenty of time left in the game for West Florence, but you need to make a stop right here. You just got to stop the bleeding that's been going on, the momentum. You need it back on the West Florence Knight side.
With the way that Wilson's been able to run the football so far in the second half, though, you got to think they're going to keep trying to drain this clock until you got about, maybe 6 minutes left here, and then West Florence would possibly be down by more than two scores.
Yeah, this is the opposite of what we talked about at the beginning of the game. We were talking about how Wilson was just a pass-heavy team, but right now they said, you know what, we're going to do smash mouth the way West Florence has been trying to play us, and let's see if we can't do the same thing and do it better.
Howard staying in at quarterback. It'll be 2nd down and 9 as both McWhite and now McWhite will go out wide. Caleb Collins takes over as the primary tailback. Out of the gun, Howard will look to throw right side, short screen pass, too low for number 14, Rashawn Woodbury, incomplete.
That's one of the first times in the second half that Wilson's had any trouble handling anything.
It'll be 3rd down and 9 now for the Tiger offense. Howard in the gun, sticking with Collins in the backfield. Trips to his right. He'll check to the sideline for the play call. Clock stopped at 8:08 to go. Now he calls for it. Looking to throw, going left side. No, he'll look to run. Tripping over himself, and Howard will maybe gain 2 yards. He had a duck for cover there. 4th down now for the Tigers. Great stop there by the Knights.
Yeah, this is very similar to what happened at the end of the second quarter for West Florence when they were driving the ball, and then they shot themselves in the foot and got a 4th down and didn't convert. Wilson has now done the same thing. If they don't get this particular conversion, everything we were talking about, running the clock down to 6 minutes, it's all stopped.
Clock still running right now for this 4th down. The offense staying on the field for the Tigers here. They are at their 30-yard line. They will look to throw. Pressure in Howard's face. He'll look to run. All over him are the Knights, and they'll get the stop. Huge play there for the Knight defense as they flush Howard out and tackle him right there at the line of scrimmage. Turnover on downs.
Yeah, that stops the momentum right there, James. I mean, this is exactly what happened. And now West Florence gets the ball back possibly, runs this clock out, can actually go ahead and score and win the game with the way they play and the way methodically they run the ball. They can easily run 7 minutes off this score.
Coach Wilson still has all 3 of his timeouts. But to your point, Chuck, this was the Knights had to have it, and they got it. Now, can this offense turn around these second-half woes? In the gun, Chase Anderson, 2 tight ends, motion to his right. He'll give it up the middle. Jeremiah Bryant, a solid run up the middle of the field. He'll gain 4 to 5 yards on the first down carry.
Now, that kind of run is what we saw more of in the first half. If they can continue to do this on this drive in the second half, it's going to be a rough drive for Wilson.
7 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. West Florence 21, Wilson 27. Knights driving. 2nd down and 5. 2 tight end set for Anderson. He'll give it up the middle again to Bryant. Good running room. He'll get to the 40-yard line, then pushed back. They'll say, I think he got the first down yardage. We'll see where that official mark is.
It's pretty close if it's not, based on the sideline judge on the other side where the chains are. And they did give him the first down, James. This drive is starting to look like what West Florence did in the very first quarter towards part of the second quarter. And looks like we got an injured Wilson player down.
Yep, number 6 on the Tigers team, Jordan Davis.
So
didn't see what happened there, but
I didn't either. Let's just hope he's okay.
Yes, sir. Seemed to go down there, and the training staff will look at him. We'll take a side as they take a look at Jordan Davis here on the Wilson sideline. The score 27 Wilson, West Florence 21 with 6:30 to go here in the 4th quarter on the high school football game of the week.
If that crack in your windshield is driving you crazy, but you don't have time to get it fixed, call Galloway Auto Glass, a mobile service company that comes to you. Owner and operator Will Floyd has over 20 years experience in auto glass repair and replacement, but the real boss is Judge, the Labrador Retriever who rides along and ensures customer satisfaction. Galloway Auto Glass always treats your vehicle like their own and will even help you file your insurance claim. Call Galloway Auto Glass at 843-332-7575 or 664-9918, serving Florence, Darlington, Hartsville, and surrounding areas.
Coming up after the game, it's the South Carolina High School Scoreboard Show on 96.3 ESPN Radio.
Welcome back. Tristan Collins in the backfield. He'll take the carry up the middle and stonewalled right there at the line to gain. Maybe a gain of 1 yard after that timeout there. A huge play there by the Wilson defense to kind of stop some momentum.
Yeah, it wasn't much there to gain at all, James.
2nd down and 9 now as Chase Anderson in the backfield now to receive this snap. Claps once, and now we'll look to the sideline. Clock running with 5:40 to go now. Anderson will give it up the middle of the field. This time it's Jeremiah Bryant on the carry as he'll push forward for another gain of about 5 or 6. And so far, the Knights have a little bit of a formula going.
Yeah, I mean, this is what they were doing like we talked about in the first half. But this down right here is huge. They're almost at midfield. It's 3rd down. We've already seen what both teams do on 4th down, and it has not been great.
3rd down and 4 now for this Knights offense as the Tiger faithful get on their feet.
This play could be a big play in this game, especially if Wilson can stop them.
We're at 5 minutes to go here in the last quarter of action. Tristan Collins will be the one to receive this snap. Jeremiah Bryant in the backfield with him. Collins takes the snap. It's to his right. He'll fake it to Bryant going up the middle of the field, pushing into a big pile of bodies. They'll see where he marks it. He's right at the line to gain, right at the 50-yard line.
Let's see if they get to him. It looked like they marked him short on the other side of the field. And they did. Looks like it's 4th down and about a foot to go.
This could decide the football game here, folks. 4th down and 1 for the Knights right here at midfield. 4:30 to go, clock running. The Tiger faithful get on their feet for this huge 4th down.
This is the play of the game so far, James. Big time.
Jeremiah Bryant, the man in the backfield, 2 tight ends. This is going to be a direct snap all the way. Jeremiah Bryant got it going up the middle of the field. Big push by that Knights offensive line and an easy 1st down. That'll gain about 3 yards there before he's pushed back.
Yeah, big momentum or big play by West Florence to keep the momentum on their side. This is what they were looking for, methodical drive. If they can run this clock out, they're on the 47-yard line
Yes,
of Wilson. Let's see if they can run this clock out and score and then get the extra point and walk out of here with a victory.
Clock still running inside 4 minutes now. Anderson in the gun, this time Tristan Collins to his left. He'll give it to Collins up the middle of the field. He was able to make 2 guys miss, but then runs into another wall of purple and gold. Maybe a gain of 3.
Yeah, this is what they've been doing pretty much, and it's starting to take effect now in the second half. Wilson was able to stop it before, but now they seem to have a little bit more trouble. They might want to go back to whatever halftime adjustments they made to stop this bleeding right now before this game ends up being out of their control.
It'll be 2nd down and 7 now at the 44-yard line. We have another stoppage on the field here.
Is the referee okay?
Yeah,
okay. The referee was bending over a second, so I thought something must be wrong.
Not sure
with
what
him.
the stoppage was there. A quick timeout there to maybe get things together. I don't see any official timeouts coming off the scoreboard here. The referees will go ahead and say we're ready for football.
Yeah, and the referee looks fine. He was bending over, so that's what scared me to begin with, but he's fine.
So false alarm there. 3 minutes, 21 seconds to go with the stop. They'll go ahead, wind the clock now, and it'll run. 2nd down and 7 for the Knights. Anderson in the gun. Bryant to his right. They'll direct snap it to Bryant to his right, and he'll go up the middle of the field for another 1st down for Jeremiah Bryant, fighting at the 35-yard line. That's a Knights 1st down.
And what they're doing, they're actually using Cooper Cray back there, number 11 with number 1. Him and Bryant have been the 2 back there.
That was correct.
Yeah, Anderson must be I hadn't seen him.
Right now, the backfield looks to be Cray, Bryant, and Tristan Collins.
And it appears that Cray has been the one taking the snap, and then we'll see if they give a direct snap this time to Bryant.
Bryant laid out. Yep. He is the direct snap man. Cray will lead the way for him. Bryant finding running room off of Cray to his left, and he'll gain about 4 yards there.
The way this clock is running right now, James, we're at 2 minutes and 30 seconds. This could be the last chance for West Florence to score.
Down 6, a touchdown and an extra point will give them the lead.
And we know that's what they're going for, and that's what this game has ended up going to be right now. This is going to be probably West Florence's last drive.
2nd down and 6 now after the 4-yard carry at the 33-yard line. Anderson will look to throw right side on a screen, dropped. Incomplete. I believe that was intended. Yes, that was intended for Corey Patterson on that right sideline. Incomplete. The clock stops with 2:04. It'll be 3rd down.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's not what West Florence wanted, of course, with the droppage. But it did save them a little time now, so they do have 2 minutes and 4 seconds. Clock is not running. They can settle down some. They don't have to worry about being necessarily in a hurry for this particular play.
Wilson still has all their collection of 3 timeouts. West Florence down to 1. Wilson fans getting loud. Anderson now checks back into the game at quarterback. He's going to look to roll right, looking to throw. Has all day. He rolls far. He has nobody open. He actually had Tristan Collins wide open on the other side of the field if he saw him, but he'll scamper out of bounds for a gain of about 3 yards there, maybe less. It'll be 3rd down and 6.
Yeah, that was a surprising call with how they've been running the ball all night. I mean, he ran out of the side to look for somebody. He was still able to gain 3 yards off it. He literally stopped at the 40-yard line.
Excuse me, that was 3rd down and 6. This is now 4th down. 4th down and 6 yards to go for West Florence. A minute 57 to go here in this football game.
Yeah, this could be the game. We'll see.
They have the ball at the 32-yard line. Chase Anderson in the gun. 4 receivers. Jeremiah Bryant in the backfield. And I believe, yes, Coach Brian Wilson will call a timeout for his Tigers.
I was surprised about that last call, James, to be honest with you. I figured they would run the ball. They've been having so much success running the ball. They put themselves in a position now that they're almost in a passing position. They got 6 yards to go, a minute 57 left in this game. If they don't get this particular first down, I don't know that Wilson gives them a chance to get the ball back. Although West Florence does have timeouts.
Just one timeout. They don't have enough to get the ball back. If Wilson gets this stop here, the math, I believe, says they can just take the knee.
Okay, you're right then. Yep.
But that all means if they get this stop here, West Florence will have to execute a play they really haven't been able to create in this second half.
Correct. This now, as we talked a few seconds, this is literally the biggest play of the game for both teams.
And the Wilson team firing up the crowds here in their first home game, hoping for a win against their crosstown rival. It is 4th down and 6, and flags fly. Ball gets into Chase Anderson's hands on a snap. He wasn't ready for it. What in the world is going on here?
I did not see. Oh, look, they pulled up any flag. I don't see a flag anymore. I'm not sure exactly what. Let's see if they moved the ball. Here we go, James.
Still deliberating here with some of the referees.
This would be huge if West Florence gets moved back right here.
Flag is waved off. No flag on the play. We will reset the down. 4th down and 6. Here we go. Anderson in the gun is a bunch look. 4 receivers. Bryant in the backfield with him. Anderson will look to throw out of the backfield to Bryant. Incomplete. He had him open, but it was too short. A great play there. I believe that was either Tamari Eccles.
No, that was Eccles. Eccles got in there and hit that ball, James. He has been the star of the game. He slapped the ball down as it was coming to that receiver. What a play, young man. You just ended the game more than you just ended the game for your team.
It was Jeremiah Bryant out of the backfield, and like you said, Chuck, Tamari Eccles, you got to give him the play of the game, the player of the game for that.
Dude, he was on that receiver, and he is the one who literally stopped that ball. Beautiful defense.
I believe they'll give the young man the opportunity to take this knee here as Wilson will take not a victory formation here. Eccles will continue to run the offense here. 3 tight ends to his right. He'll go following his blockers, cutting into the middle of the field, and
he got stuck.
Down for a gain of maybe a yard.
He got popped. He went straight backwards. That's the first thing I've seen with Eccles going anything negative on him. He got popped, James.
We'll see now what.
It could be an injury timeout because they got a Wilson player down, either tying his shoe or.
The clock is stopped at a minute 48. Not sure what the actual stoppage is for here. I don't see. West Florence did not use their timeout. A minute 48. Wilson trying to run this clock out. I'm not really sure what this stoppage was for, Chuck.
Me either. That's what I was trying to figure out. The clock should be still running.
Timeout, West Florence now signaled by the referees. A late signal now, and Coach Wilkes will call a timeout.
Yeah, and that's what we expected was for them to take the one timeout, and then Wilson. I believe West Florence will have a chance to get the ball back.
If they can get a stop, I believe they will have a few seconds left at the end here. Less than a minute for sure to maybe do something here, but got to give credit to this Wilson team, man. Once again, seeing that diversity in that first half and just continuing to fight, to believe in each other, the offense, the defense, the special teams. It has been a complete and total effort by the Wilson Tigers tonight.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, both teams have played well. Nobody's going to have anything to be totally disappointed about by the way they played, except West Florence is going to look at this and go, we did nothing in the second half to gain points. They still had the same number they had in the first half.
And really, I mean, like we said, right before the second half, had that chance to really go up 2 scores and to get that ball back. But Wilson and Tamari Eccles has made the necessary plays. Now 2nd down and 9. McWhite will take the direct snap. It dribbles back there to him. That was scary, but he'll keep it going right-hand side, just shy of the 40. He'll gain 6 to 7 yards there, and it'll be 3rd down.
And now for Wilson, this is honestly the biggest play of the game for them. If they get this, they ice the game.
The play clock is at 25 seconds. The actual clock is at 1:25. So it'll be a minute left if they wait till the final second to snap this. They're going to mark it a 3rd down and about 4 yards.
And they may let this thing run all the way down and call a timeout.
I'd imagine that's probably what Coach Wilson is going to do here, try to drain every second possible off this clock and then dial up a nice play here on 3rd down.
That appears that's what he's doing right now.
So if you are Coach Wilson in this situation, you need 4 yards in 2 plays pretty much. I mean, do you not go back to number 9 in this situation?
I mean, he's been the number 1 player on the field today, even with Mello Patterson, who we know is going to CCU and is a stud of a player. I'm not saying he hasn't done anything, but he has not been the standout player that Eccles has been. Eccles has dominated this game not by himself, but through himself, absolutely. I will say.
Well, accounting for a pick 6 one way. First off, he went down and fought through about 3 Knights defenders at the goal line, scored him a goal line touchdown, then had that pick 6 at the end of the second half, had another goal line touchdown on the other end to start the second half, and then has the play of the game on defense to knock it down on that 4th down pass attempt.
Yeah, it's definitely the opposite of what we thought this game was going to be like, James. After the first half, I thought West Florence was going to actually come in and kind of dominate, but this could be it right here.
McWhite will be the one to receive this snap. Jabril Crawford Thompson in the backfield with him, 2 tight ends. McWhite will just go left immediately, running. No blocking by his offensive line there, and a great tackle there. That was number 56, Karon Williamson, again, and it'll bring up 4th down and 5. Clock running, 45 on the play clock, on the game clock, and 30 seconds on the play clock. So there'll be about 15 seconds difference there.
And I apologize, I was wrong. West Florence may get the ball back on offense, but it's going to be with 15 seconds left in the game. And the chance of them throwing a Hail Mary from as far back as they will probably be is going to be very, very limited. It appears right now Wilson has got a strong, strong case to win this game.
We'll see what Coach Wilson does here. I believe he's going to use his last timeout, and he will here with 16.9 officially on the scoreboard here as they are facing a 4th and 5. You got to think they're probably going to try to punt the football, probably not going forward in this situation. They're going to try to pin this West Florence team back, waste as much time as you can on this punt return here.
And that would be what I was talking about before. If special teams are going to show up to win this game, West Florence's special team would need to block this punt.
Yep, you're right, 100%. That would be their best bet at this point to try to make a play here to get this ball moving in the right direction. We'll see what Wilson comes out to do here as number 9, Tamari Eccles, does take the field here, but I believe he's also part of the kickoff coverage team, and he is.
Yeah, and this is just a scary thought for either team because neither team have been the greatest at punting the ball tonight. So, scary proposition for your team to be right here because if he drops the ball, does anything, West Florence is going to have at least an opportunity to score if they're on this side of the field.
Clayton Foltz is back to return the kick at his own 35-yard line. Number 23 for Wilson is back to field this punt, standing at his own 25-yard line. Good snap. He's got time to get it away. West went after it, but he had the time. Foltz will signaled the fair catch, and he caught it immediately. 11.7 seconds left on the game clock, and the Knights will have it at the 37-yard line.
Yeah, surprising that they ended up getting the ball back, but guess what? They do have ball back with the chance. I don't know if anybody on that team has arm enough to get it down there, but if they go for like a 15-yard play and then for a Hail Mary, there's a chance, James. Or if they just try to run up the middle, but if they do, the game is over.
With 11 seconds left, they have time for maybe 2 plays if they're able to get out of bounds.
Yep, you would think they're going to go for a 10 or 15-yard pass, get out of bounds, and then try a Hail Mary.
They'll have one last chance for the Knights.
Here we go.
Anderson in the gun, 4 wide receivers. Jeremiah Bryant in the backfield with him. They'll have it at the 37-yard line. Bryant goes out in motion to his left. It's a screen inside the middle of the field. caught at the 40, 35, breaking a tackle 50, still breaking loose 45. He'll have to lateral it for the game to continue. They blow it dead after he's tackled. 1.7 seconds left on the clock. I'm not sure why the clock stopped
First
there.
down.
They did give him a first down, so the clock does stop to move the chains. Good call there, Chuck. Clock now will begin to run. 1 second left.
It's going to run quick. There it goes.
There it goes. The clock runs. They do get the snap off. Anderson will be able to throw it deep one last time. He stands at his 50. No rush hardly. He'll launch it deep. And it'll be battered down, incomplete at the 10-yard line. And the Wilson Tigers have defeated the West Florence Knights.
Wow, wow, wow for Coach Wilson. The way he's turned this program around from last year to this year is big. This is a big upset. It's a 5A team that just got beat by a 4A team, and the 4A team dominated the first half.
Not just a 4A team, a 1-9 4A team from last year between a team in West Florence who went to the playoffs last year. You got to know the stings for Coach Wilkes dropping this game, going to 1-3 now. But for on the other side, Coach Wilson, goodness gracious, does this give you some life going into region play?
It no doubt does. For Wilson, his program is going in the right trajectory. For Wilkes, his program unfortunately went in the wrong trajectory. But this is a big-time learning lesson for this team to not let go of a game like they did again. They had this game in their grabs during that first half, and they let it go, James.
Both teams will start region play next week. South Florence back at home against Lugoff Elgin, and the Tigers will play at Lakewood next week. What a fun football game here, and the rivalry for Florence, the Tigers versus the Knights. The Tigers come out on top 27-21, Chuck. Thank you for listening to us tonight here on the ESPN High School Football Game of the Week. Good night, and have a safe weekend.
96.3 region. ESPN
You've been
Radio
listening to the
is on.
96.3 ESPN Radio High School Football Game of the Week. Brought to you in part by Galloway Auto Glass, Stoudemire Dowling.